Hello, nobody and anybody who might be here shortly. You're not going to be on for a real long time tonight. We're having issues with mom again, and we'll have to see how things go. Yeah, we don't have anybody here yet. Okay, we'll see. We get everything set up here. Get things going. Everything turned on. Get everything turned on. I think so. Yep, we have sound. Okay. Hello, who's ever out there? We're going to do a short stream tonight because we had issues with mom all day. Hey, Blue Ridge, how you doing? And so we had issues with mom all that night, last night and today. So she's hopefully going to go to bed here shortly. But I'm kind of worn out too, so we're not going to be on for a real long time. But I thought we'd come in at least long enough to check in for a while, see how everybody's doing, and kind of work on my stuff a little bit. I've been working on the Romulan scout ship a little bit this week, and I've been doing a little bit of repairs on some of the models. One who suffered a little damage in the last move when I got a new display case and moved some around. So you know how that goes. Stuff happens. Let me clean that off of there. I don't need that right now. And anybody needing any Gunsy stuff, Mark Twain Hobby, which is hobby1.com on interwebs, has just got in their big Gunsy order. They called me yesterday and said all my back ordered stuff from Gunsy was in. So you might want to hop on to their website, and if you need anything Gunsy, which is Mr. Hobby, Mr. Color, Mr. You know, all the Mr. stuff is all Gunsy. So if you need anything there, I would get on their webpage real quick and order what you need. I think if you order over $70 for the stuff, it's free shipping. I think that's where it's at. It goes up and down. They run specials and stuff all the time. But yeah, we'll say we had issues started last night with mom's dementia and it just got worse over the night. She's been up for like 2 days, couldn't get her to go to sleep. And this morning she was packing her stuff, saying she wasn't going to live here no more, and she's going to call the police on me because I wouldn't give her car keys, and it was just a bad day. I finally got her calmed down and got some more meds into her, and then we saw the lawyer this afternoon. So I'm sure that's going to cause issues too in her mind that we're trying to kick her out or whatever, trying to kill her off so we can get her money or whatever. But yeah, that's where we're at on that. So again, if I probably won't be on too long, but if I pop out unexpectedly, that means something went on with her and she's having another meltdown, and I'll have to go handle that. But anyway, like I said, we were going to work on our Romulan scout ship here tonight. Looks a lot more like it looks like a Romulan ship, but it also looks a whole lot like a Cylon ship, especially when I turn the lights on, because I opened up the bridge, what I'm calling the bridge window in the front, and it looks like a giant. If I had a red light in it that went back and forth, you would swear it was a Cylon. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, time is coming. I mean, the longer I can keep her in the house, the happier she's going to be and the better she's going to be. But you know, that time is coming. Um, she about pushed me to the limit this morning. I had to put her in the car and take her to my sister's for a while because she was just pushing and pushing and pushing. It's like a switch. It turns on, turns off, turns on, turns off. So right now the switch is off. So she's happy camper, and she's hopefully getting ready for bed. I tried to get her to bed earlier, but because she hasn't slept in like 2 days. But we'll see. If I don't hear from her in an hour or so, I'll go check on her again. Anyway, so yeah, we're working on the Romulan there. I did get primer on my 37 Ford for the Got Fuels group build, and sometime this week I will try to get some paint onto that because that is allowed. You don't have to do the painting in camera. And I left the live stream way early on Saturday too, so I got a couple hours worth of build time coming to me for not being in the stream all the way through. So I'll hopefully get the paint on that this week. I'm still up in the air a little bit on what color I'm going to use. I want to do a transparent orange over a gold base, or if I want to do a blue finish on that car. I'm leaning towards the orange. Originally I was going to do the blue, but I'm kind of leaning towards the orange, and then that means if that's the way I go, then I can start painting the wheels and stuff too. Get all that painting done, and then box it back up. Yeah, she has the dementia, and it's some days she's fine, and some days it just like a switch flips, and yeah, she goes down the road, and she thinks she's like 20 years old. She doesn't know who I am or anybody else, and went to go see her mom, and her mom's been dead for 20 years. In fact, we went a couple weeks ago, took her to the cemetery and took pictures of her with the gravestones so that she can, when she goes down that road, I can pull the pictures up and show it to her, so that she will believe me that her parents are gone. Yeah, well, this is the other side of my world that you don't see all the time because I don't do it super often. To do the sci-fi stuff, I haven't done it's probably been 2 years or so since I did a full-on sci-fi lighted build. But yeah, I don't remember if it's plugged in. Yeah, I can kind of light it up now, but everything's masked off, so it won't really show, but I can do it a little bit, I guess. Might show somewhat. We turn the overhead off. That's the bridge lights there. There's some lower lights, and then right in the middle is the torpedo section there. We have the inside of the engines on both sides are lit. I said they're all masked off, and then there's more pieces that go in the front there. You can see all the light leaks I still got to take care of. Then it's got lighting. It's on the bottom, and then back in the tail section, there's a big set of windows there, and the rear disruptors, I guess they would be, and then we got some more detail windows on top, and then the upper disruptor weapons and stuff. So yeah, the rest of it's all been primed on the inside and painted black, and then painted silver over that, so that any light inside stays in there, gets reflected, except where I want it to come out. But yeah, that's basically, I'm going to go over, do a little final sanding on it, and try and get some primer on this one tonight, so that I can start on the really big stuff, which is the doing the paint job. Because right now I'm only about, even though it's all in one piece, it's only probably about 20% done. Because about 85% of it is all the paint job. So, but yeah, so we're gonna work on this tonight for a while, and I said I may try to get my gold paint onto that 37, if to be the base, the undercolor. If I can get to it, then I'll try to get. Hey Red, how you doing tonight? Let me get Lieutenant Dan in here. Hey Dan, how are you tonight?
Hey, what's going on?
We're here. Don't know for how long, but we are here. Something like that.
How's your mom doing? I heard first few minutes.
Last night and today, she had a major episode, and
Uh,
um, she threatened to, if I didn't give her the car keys, that she was going to call the police and tell them I stole her car.
Damn.
And she wouldn't understand the fact that she does not have a driver's license anymore.
Mm.
And but she decided she wasn't living here no more, and she was going home to her mom's house, where her mom has been dead for 20 years.
Oh man, I can't imagine that. If
It's
everybody I
rough.
know that's went through that has similar stories. It's terrible.
And normally I can deal with it, but she kind of, I don't know what, I guess because she's been up for 2 days and had me up almost for 2 days, I started to snap on her. So I just put her in the car and took her to my sister's house and dumped her off for about 4 hours. And that seemed to calm her down, and it let me decompress a little bit. And so
And it's
hopefully she
it's
goes to
hard.
her bed.
You're human too, and imagine you feel guilty when you get in those kind of situations, but it's
Oh
stressful.
yeah, yeah,
I had when I lived in Memphis, I had a neighbor and his wife across the street. They took in his mom, who was getting older. She had a lot of medical problems, being a heavy drinker, and uh, she was it was tough for them too. And I watched them just I was really surprised to see that they survived, intact as a couple.
Well, her mom had dementia too, so we've gone through this once before, so I kind of know
Very
what
very
to expect.
stressful.
And but yeah, it's say her keeping me up basically for 2 straight days, almost taxing me to the limit. If I wouldn't have my sisters here,
Mm.
maybe we'll take her there for a while to get her out of my hair. I don't know. I may have taken her to the hospital and dumped her off. But
In there, I
as of
can't.
now, everything's back, and we went to talk to the lawyer this afternoon and trying to get the stuff straightened out for when she does have to go into a home. So,
Well, hang in there. Hope everything works out. I
yeah,
know it's really tough.
yeah. We're trying to make sure that the government gets as little of their money as possible. We got to want the lawyer to figure out where we could put money that the government or the nursing home can't get to and stuff like that. And sometimes, I mean, it's a horrible thing to say, but I almost wish she'd just had a stroke or a heart attack and
You
died.
know, yeah, I don't know if that's horrible. I think that's the human thing to say. I mean, me personally, my wife and I talked about it. It's like if we ever get to the point, if I'm going to be a burden on my family, I'd rather just go quickly. It's it's a terrible thought, but it is hard.
Yeah.
People are not equipped, trained, or really up for that, taking care of someone like that.
And her dad, my grandfather, was the exact opposite. Till like the 20 hours or so before he passed, he was as sharp as attack as any 18-year-old. His body just shriveled away and gave up on him.
Mm.
And
My
mom was out.
my mom's dad, my grandpa, had a stroke some years ago. He was about 83, and they put him in assisted living. And it's amazing how quickly the funds ran out. And they decided to take him out. My mom's a retired nurse, so she'd care for him till he passed. But it was, she ran a nursing home for years, and it was still super difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Around here, the assisted living, if we can get her into that, that's $4,500 a month.
Oh God.
I mean, we've got the money to do it for a while until the money runs out. Then I guess Medicaid will have to take over. But
I can't wait to try this new toy I just picked up. This is advertised as a file for photo etch.
oh, cool.
I mean, it's a Tamiya diamond file. I've got their round one, which is awesome. This thing is great for doing round stuff or radiusing corners. But
I know where mine is.
I like how fine this is, because the other files I have for diamond etch, for photo etch, filing off the nibs and stuff, are almost too abrasive. Like they catch the metal, want to pull on it. This is
Yeah.
very fine, so I'm hoping that this does the trick.
That's what I got. I couldn't. All I can tell you about is from Germany. I think it came out of one of my grandfather's toolboxes, and it's the same thing. It is super fine and nice, small, nice and flat, and you can get
It
in
does
there.
the job without tugging on what you're working on. I know
Yep,
I've got a couple of these files. I think this is a Tamiya one too. These are great files, but they're just a little too rough, and they pull on when you're filing photo etch. You want to pull it out of your hands or out of your tweezers.
Yeah, that's what.
I've got a little photo etch work I got to do this week, and I'm hoping this will be the ticket.
And it's got a knurled handle on it, so it stays in your hand real nice. And
yeah, I do like
the.
Yeah, that's nice too. I do like the grips that the Tamiya ones have. They've got a texture to them, so you get some grip. But Tamiya is very proud of their tools, man.
Yes.
Some of their tools are prohibitively expensive. And I'm going to move over to the booth and work on painting this two-tone paint job.
Okay, let me try and catch up on the chat a little bit here. Hey, Gary, nice to see you come in. Got Red hanging out in there. Sluggo's here. Yeah, I saw his post a little earlier. Yeah, Leon, it's part of life. I mean, she took care of me for all those years. It's just fair that I do it, return the favor for as long as I can. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, Mark Twain called me yesterday, and they got their Gunzy order in, so they have all the Mr. Hobby Color, Surfacer, all their stuff in stock for now. So if you need any, their website is hobby1.com. Yeah, the Diamond Tamiya files are good. So that my grandfather, I don't know where he got it from. I don't remember which grandfather I got it from, but the only thing it says on it is made in West Germany. So it probably means it was made at least 50, 60 years ago. And it's super fine. I need to clean it. I got some resin dust in it, but
I bought this small set of Tamiya Diamond files a couple of years ago that have been great. They're they've got the flat, the half round, and the round, which are good. And then they sell that same set in a bigger size. I broke the flat one. I was prying something with it. It just snapped. I was really shocked, actually, because I hardly put any pressure on it, but it just snapped right in half.
My bigger set I got from Powler out of Germany, which is also a very good set, but it's a little more coarse than this one that I use for photo etch and for fine.
I got these at a hobby shop.
For sanding.
I got these at a hobby shop, and I don't remember who sells these, but they've got this triangular shaped one. And I love this thing. This thing is amazing for cutting panel lines of all things. Like if I'm having trouble scribing a line, you can lay this thing in there with that triangular shape, and it just carves a nice straight line for you. I've used that a few times to straighten out lines that weren't cooperating.
Those look interesting. They're only $7. I may order a set of those and give them a try. It looks like it's more for fine work than what a lot of this is, but yeah. I'll stick that in my add to cart, and then I'll check those out more later. Yep, that's the same thing I did. So I just threw them into my cart. I will check them out more closely later. I've got the Romulan scout chip on my bench, and I've got 37 Ford and primer. I'm gonna try and get the first color on it tonight. And other than that, so I was doing repair jobs for moving. I got a new display case, just like the other ones, but so I had to move models around, and there's a couple of my knocked mirrors off of, or knocked off a headlight. I knocked off the headlight on this one, which is my 32. My 32.5 window. I knocked one of the headlights off of it, so I got to glue it back on this morning.
I like that.
Yeah, we put a resin motor in there, and then we put some of Jay's resin wheels. They're the Weld drag lights, I think they were.
Yeah, I love his big and little.
And then did the blue to purple color shift over a dark blue paint. So it's got a nice color shift, nice scale size metallic look to it. It's something that would have happened in the 70s or 80s type paint job. I'm real proud of this one. It was for my old Tom build. And it took first at the IPMS show, which is even better. Not that I expected it, but it happened and it was great. First time I ever got a first place on a car. Hey, Mark. Yep, that's that Revell 5-window kit. To me, it was a great kit. It had a boatload of extra parts in it for the different ways to build it, and I'm still using parts and decals off of that thing. I'll probably pick another one up here eventually and build it as more of a rat rod type look. We'll get rid of the. I like the fender look on those old cars, but I'll do one without. If I do it again, I'll do it without fenders this time. I'll probably do it without the louvered rumble seat cover and the hood sides. Do it hoodless or just use the plain one on it. But yeah, I'm real happy with the way that kit turned out, and it was easy enough to build. The only fiddly part was the headlight bar, which I promptly broke almost as soon as I got it done. But it's cracked. That's why it won't sans flush. Where's my super glue? But I glued it back together and put some AK Super Chrome on it, and all was well with the world. If you know that it's broken, you can see it, but if you don't, you really can't. And if it does get bad enough, I could always take the bar off and just mount put some pins in the headlight buckets and just mount them into the holes where the bar came out of. Okay. Okay. Yeah, picked me up some more Bob Smith accelerator, because I'm just out of my first bottle, which I bought about a year and a half ago. That's all I got left. That's all I've bought lately, because I'm kind of saving money right now. Trying not to spend too much. I bought some resin parts and stuff like that, and they're not even here yet. Hey, Billboard, how you doing? Anybody else I missed? I apologize. Well, I didn't think I would like them either. So I painted both sets. And then when I put them on there, I liked the louvered look on it better for this car, this color, I guess. If I do it again, I would probably do it without the fenders and with the smooth. Without the fender, without the hood, and with the smooth rumble seat cover. Yeah, I bought my tweezers. I bought the set I use most of the time. I got off of Micromark, God, probably 20 years ago. Here they are. Nice little curve set. The ends used to be a whole lot longer, but I've used them so many times and had bent them and broken and resharpened them that they're almost, the curve is almost gone. And that's the nice thing about them being the steel. I can grind them down and repoint them, bend the tip so I can grab it real nice. But yeah, that's my favorite set. I've got boatloads of other ones, but that's the set I always use. All right, let's get rid of this and this. Put that up there for now. Yeah, I buy a lot. I buy a whole lot of my. Well, I did. We did have a Sally's Beauty store supply house that was in the next town up the road, but they closed it a little while back. I used to get all my sanders and polishers and all that stuff from there. The fine pointed toothpick or Q-tips, my dusting brush. Probably 90% of my stuff came from Beauty Supply. My nippers are actually toenail cutters. I got that set, and I got a set of cuticle ones for the super fine parts that I can't get those in between the screw and the part. Then I've got a set of cuticle ones that are a lot finer that I can get in there with those. They don't cut quite as clean, but you can get it in that smaller spot. Same thing. I don't buy instead of buying the Tamiya tape, I buy the MT washi tape, and MT is the company in Japan that makes Tamiya's tape. So it's the same stuff. You're just not paying for the Tamiya name, and I just refill my holders, and you can get it in all different widths on Amazon for pretty cheap. The last time I got it, they were out of the one I got last time, but it was like 20 rolls for $21, $22, and each roll was 30 feet of tape. So it's 20 rolls of 30 foot rolls. They're just all different colors of the rainbow when you're doing for masking. It doesn't matter what color it is. Yes, it just looked. I think maybe because it was the color shift paint. But let me reach over and grab this again. Hopefully, I won't break it again. Because of the color, the way the color catches them, they kind of stand out real nice. Definitely on the ones on the front. When I have it at the show, I always display it without this on there anyway. I sit that down next to it. Because I put an LS motor in this one. And wired it up and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm real happy with the way this one turned out. I said when I do it next time, I will build it completely different. I tend to do that. I find a model I like, I'll build it several times and build it differently each time. And that's probably next time I'll probably do like a rat rod version with no hood, no fenders, and a smooth back. And the other thing I did on it had the fabric, the layout, the molding, I guess you want to say, for the fabric top on it. And I really didn't want that, so I sanded that smooth. So then I just painted it so it has a steel top instead of having the canvas section in the roof. And I'm real happy with the way that turned out. Go. Here's Marcus with us. Change the format here. There we go. So we can see better. Good evening, Mark.
How's it going?
Okay.
I'm gonna change my camera view here for you
Okay.
guys. There's two. Oh, I'm just gonna change up my camera views. You put this one on top, and then I'm gonna shrink this one down. Take this one and put this one up.
OFB. I've yet to master that font program. I've got it on my computer. I just haven't been able to master it yet. Yeah.
What, OBS? It's easy enough to use. Damn it. Grabbed the wrong one.
Seems like you're working on a rat rod too.
Well, I've missed 2 of the live streams.
Oh, are you working on the 37?
For,
okay, cool.
Yeah. So I figure I have about 8 hours worth that I can do. So I think the live streams go for
4
about
hours. Yeah,
4
usually.
hours each time. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I was only in for about an hour and a half on Saturday, so I figured, yeah, I got about 3 hours, 2.5 hours to play with it. I need to get paint on it between now and then.
let's turn that light on. There we go. That's where I'm at so far, anyways.
Cool.
Slowly getting her figured out. I work on it for about 20 minutes, build some, make something, and then it's like sit back and look at it for an hour and go, is that what I want?
You know, I'm sitting.
I'm looking at this. I think I got to shorten my grill up a bit, bring it in more. I think it's sitting a little too far out.
Yeah, those are looking good.
And then once I get that done, then I can start working on cutting the box up because I got to shorten the box quite a bit. I got to take out, in between the 2 lines, I got to cut both those sections out, shorten the box up that much. So I'll cut it in one line, cut it on the next line, and then this piece will get glued to there, right? And the same thing on the other end. Why does that seem like it's backwards? Can you read that properly?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just backwards to me. I move to the right, and the picture I see is moving to the left.
You're the right way around. You could switch the mirror camera on in the restream if you want, and I can make it look the right way for you, and then I can flip it again over on this end.
Yeah, because this side right now, the car is facing to my left. But on Restream, it's facing to my right.
Well, you're looking
at if I switch the mirror camera. There we go.
See, you're looking.
Yeah, see, now I see
you're
it
looking
the right
at it
way.
from the other side, though, too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But see, if I put the words up,
Yep.
words are backwards
Yep.
to me
There for
now.
us also. But that's okay.
Can't have that.
Once you
Can't
get
have
lettering,
that.
nobody knows the difference anyway. Except for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to shorten this up a little.
Okay. All right. I think what I should do is put a coat of primer on here and see what I still got to, what work I still got to do. Find my.
It's just been so freaking busy that I haven't been able to join the live streams. So
Yeah, well, I've had a lot going on too. I wasn't even sure I was going to have one until about 10 minutes before I started.
yeah, that looks better. Not sticking out so far.
Give me some gloves because otherwise I know I'll spray this all over my hand. I have to get some more gloves. I'm almost out. That's 2 stops I got to make. Hobby Shop and Harbor Freight. I'll be right back. Okay, got a coat of primer on that. Let it sit for a few minutes. And then we're going to start doing some more putty work. Hey, Jimmy. I just pick out the whatever ones that have an extra large. These are what the 7 mils, 5 mil. Oh yeah. You know what I found? I had 3 of those kits. So Red got one, you got one, and I still have one. So it's on my build piles. Started here for too long.
I'm not even using the frame. I'm not even using the frame for this truck. This is the frame for this truck.
Yeah.
The frame I'm using is actually a little shorter, which is what I wanted. It moved the back tires forward almost half an inch. The frame I'm using is from the 30. Yeah, the 30. Yeah, 1930 Ford car. Because it had 2 different frames in it, right?
I was just about to ask about the one that had 2 different frames in it.
Yeah, it had the chopped and channeled frame or whatever, and then the stock frame. So technically, I'm using the stock frame for the 30 Ford. So it's going to be a complete fenderless. I think I showed you what I was looking at doing for this truck.
I don't remember. Let's
see. Can I share? I think I can share. Oh, I'll probably have to open it first. Okay. Cancel that. Okay. Now, let's try this again. Window? Yes, window. Share.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, where is it?
That looks cool.
That's going for. Obviously, different grill. You know, I've chopped the roof on an extreme rake, but it's got the shortened box on it and everything.
It's awesome. I like the big monster stack exhaust stack too.
Yeah. Not using a 454. I've got a Hemi though, and I'm gonna probably cut the top of the intake off where the butterflies would go.
Uh-huh.
And I'll try to see if I can make those zoomy tubes on the top. See if I can do something similar. But yeah, no fenders. So I'll have to make the headlight mounts and everything.
Too bad those guys are standing there. The one behind it looks interesting too.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm going for, is something like that. That's the inspiration for this one.
Yeah, so I built they're thick. That's the only thing I would say. I built the 2008 Trans Am Unlimited Bandit Trans Am And the only difference I found, everything, all the parts would fit from the donor kit, but the body was just a little thick. I had to go in and shave down some spots in the body, and then like on the top of the front wheel hubs or wheel arches, I had to cut those down because of the thickness of the body was thicker than the original plastic body, but it went together real well. And I bought 2 of those just in case I screwed one up, and I didn't, so I gave it to Jimmy. I gave him my other one. But yeah, I just did a basic a fine sand on it. I actually I'm gonna go grab it. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
Okay, let me pull this up. Yeah, this is a Jimmy Flintstone Firebird.
Oh, nice.
And I used the AMT kit for the donor for the chassis and the interior and the glass and the whole works. The only difference was the body's a little bit thicker, so I had to trim it in a few spots. And on the rear roll pan is supposed to be a separate piece on the plastic kit, but I wrenched it into the.
There it goes. Now it's focusing.
I Frenched it in so it's all be one piece. But yeah, other than that, then I did put a supercharged LS motor in it for the Pontiac, supercharged Pontiac LS motor.
Nice.
Yeah, it went to. I mean, the mirrors are from the plastic kit. Everything except for the actual bot. Well, the wheels are resin wheels too. I got them from Jay. In case anybody doesn't know, he now has an actual website, so you don't have to go through eBay to get stuff from him.
Finally, I talked to him a couple years ago out in California at a conference. I'm like, dude, you need to get a website. Probably had enough eBay fees.
Well, man, that's nice to be able to email him and talk to him without having to go through eBay.
Yeah, I need to go check out his site because I was still buying stuff off his eBay. I didn't realize he started his own store.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of his wheels. I really like his stuff.
Yeah, I just ordered 4 sets from him this week.
I know. I go through eBay on my watch list. I got about almost everything he's selling.
Yeah, well, I probably once a month or so he'll send me 2 or 3 as a offer. And the ones that I like, he didn't have anymore. And I emailed him and said, "Hey, can you make me some more of these?" And he said, "Sure, I'll put them on." And he put them in the new section. There's American Racing gasser style wheels, which are 21.
I think the ones I'm doing on the 37 are from him.
And he's got some stuff that's on the eBay site that's not on the website, and some stuff on the website that's not on eBay. But I'm assuming he'll eventually get that all integrated. And he's probably tired of paying eBay fees too, so I'm assuming eventually he'll migrate most of that stuff over to his website.
eBay fees. They remove the listing fees and then just gouge you on the final price.
Yeah, it's jaysresinwheels.com is what it's called. Let me bring that down, and I can do a present tab for Jay's Resin Wheels. Share that. Get up there. Come on, you can do it. There it goes. Then you can sign in and create an account. And it's got, yeah, these are the, I'll go to the new here. These are the ones I really like from, I bought like 3 or 4 sets before, and then they disappeared from eBay and they weren't on his webpage. So I emailed him and asked him if he could make me some more, and he said, sure. Took
Oh,
about a
wow,
day,
you
and he
read
had
my
it.
mind. I'm literally looking for a set just like that. Oh, nice.
Yeah, he can do them without the spinners, and he can do them all equal size. These are the wide rears, which I really like.
I'm actually looking for that set without the spinners, the big and little or the wide and narrow. Or I got an idea for a charger I'm building.
Yeah, I just email him. He showed me a file. He could do it either way, but I liked it with the spinners. So, and you can do them either all 4 the same size or like this with the wide rears.
I met him and his wife out at a contest in Northridge a couple of years ago. Great guys. Watch really nice stuff.
And he just brought out, got some Keystone Classic drag tires. Got some Jaguar,
Nice.
15-inch Jaguar wheels, the metal wheels, so for the later cars.
And his prints are clean. They don't really need any print work.
Nope. I've never had to do anything to him, any of his wheels. And he's got a few engines on there and some bodies, but yeah, I've always get the wheels from him. But yeah, he's got it. That website is up and running. Oh, cool. That's not a bad price either. Let me pop that up there. See, it takes a second. Come on. Thinking about it. There it goes. 36 5-window chopped.
Is that on Jay's site?
No, this is Jimmy Flintstone.
Oh.
On sale, $10.
Yeah.
That's the AMT kit.
It's not so great when you get it.
Yeah, for $10, it's not. And the one they got on there looks pretty good. I was actually going to look at mine to see if I can cut it into a roadster when I get around to doing it. I know some of the kits came available with the roadster parts in it, but that one doesn't. But I think I can cut it without too much trouble. Okay, let me wait a little bit to put that on there. Here's my little piece of plastic. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? It's not it, but I can use it. Get some more putty too. Too much because it's on the underside anyway. No rubber dolls from Thailand delivered yet? Yeah, I use their black gray, the Vallejo black gray, which is basically the same color for my wheels or my tires. The only time I do on differently is like if I'm doing a World War II German plane, because their tires were brown, not black, because they didn't have access to the materials to make black tires. They didn't have materials to make the synthetic tires like we use. So they were making the natural rubber ones, which were brown, tannish color. Yep, that first coat of primer definitely shows you every little spot you missed in the sanding. If it wasn't a Star Trek ship, I wouldn't be too worried about it, but they're all the Utopian, everything's clean, shiny. universe. Yeah, I mean, to me, it has rubber black. Testers has the rubber. I use the 7862. Vallejo model color. That seems to be the right color for doing tires and fan belts and radiator hoses, that kind of stuff. A lot of people like to use the NATO black from Tamiya also to do their tires. I put it, well, oh. This one has, get them up here. These are probably a bad example because they're kind of small and kind of hard to see, but those were done in the black gray. Let's see if the front one's a little better. It doesn't have that glossy like somebody just at a car show put tire shine on, but it looks like to me anyway, it looks like your standard rubber tire. Yeah, I use the dull coat over. If I put the lettering decals on them, I always put the dull coat over the top of that. Or actually, I'm using Mr. Color right now because I'm out as the testers. And Hobby Lobby had the other day when I was in there, they had the mat from Mr. Color. So that's what I'm using right now. Pro tip 101, guys, if you're doing like a matte finish on a car, like a rusted out finish, you use the dull coat lacquer from Testers. You can go back over it with rubbing alcohol in spots and put that on there, and it will it'll turn it white, like it's oxidized.
Oh, wow.
And and then the cool thing is if you don't like it, you just shoot it with another quick coat of the flat coat and it goes away.
Pretty nifty.
It's something about the alcohol when it hits the lacquer, it brings the talc up, so it turns white and chalky, just like it was an oxidized paint. And then, so like if I'm doing if I'm doing like a railroad engine or something like that, anywhere that the steam and the limey water would be coming out, I always do that on there. Or like I did the X-15 rocket plane, where the fuel tank was on the bottom. The fuel was so cold that it had frost on the outside of the aircraft even when it was flying at 5 times the speed of sound or whatever. And so I did that with the did the same thing on that with that, putting the alcohol on the dull coat, and it chalked it up and it looked just like it's frosted.
Huh.
I don't think I can reach it from here, otherwise I'd go grab it. And so it's completely reversible. If you put it on there, let it dry, you don't like it, you can just hit it again. I've never tried it with any other dull coat, but the Testers one, it definitely works on. Because, that's the wrong bottle, but I'm old school on that. I got the jar. No, that is the dull coat. I got the jar of Testers. I've had that for about 20 years. And I use a little bit of time. In fact, I've thinned it out with Lacquer Thinner probably 3-4 times.
Now, you airbrush that on?
Yeah, or I'll brush it on too, a lot of times.
Okay.
Like if I'm doing an aircraft where you want the whole thing to be shiny except for that flat anti-glare panel on the nose.
Right.
I'll paint the whole thing with gloss, and then I'll go back and I'll just hand paint that black section on the nose with the flat to dull it out.
Huh.
Yeah, this is definitely right now. Mine is not sprayable. It's a little too thick. You have to thin it down before I can spray it. Yeah, it's kind of. I said this bottle's probably 20 years old. But yeah, you thin it down and shoot it through the airbrush, or if I've just got a small project. I said I've got the Mr. Color matte down there, and I think I may even have a can of Dull Coat down there, but it's all in my paint rattle can drawer. If I get up to go to the bathroom before we leave tonight, I'll grab the X15 and show it to you. It's too far down the table for me to reach, and so if I get up and go to the bathroom, I can come back the other direction. Grab it. Hey Chuck, how are you tonight?
Go.
If anybody wants to come in, I got the link pinned in the chat, so you can just, as long as you got a working microphone, you can hop in. As long as we know who you are.
Apparently, those of us that are in here that you aren't in a chatty mood, I guess.
And even if he knows who you are, he might give you grief, as I found out last week.
Well, I didn't put the two together. See,
I didn't know if you were serious or messing with me. I'm like, it's me.
We've had enough incidents that if it's not somebody.
Yeah, we've had some unclothed individuals pop into a live here and there.
That
I'm fortunate to miss those, I guess.
If you don't know who it is, then I'll want them to post, type something in the chat, then I can go to their channel and see if there's anything related. And if not, so like I saw yours, because I didn't put the two together and it was all music. It says, yeah, well, we do music once in a while, but it was model building tonight. And so I said, Dan, okay, we're good. Once I know you, I'll give you a wrench, and then we're good.
That's when you were. That was what I was like. Where's he going with? He's like, I went to your YouTube page, and there's no models, only music. And I was thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, that is my page. I don't use my YouTube site much. It's just got videos of some my bands I've been in.
Well, even then, I chimed in. Says, anybody know who this is? And it was in the chat, and nobody spoke up. And then
they probably don't, because I don't advertise that page. I do
got to get in the private that it was you.
Model stuff in there, yeah.
Well, my guitar building pages, I haven't touched it in probably 2 years.
Gary Ride, you need to get in here and show this picture of this car you're working on. Damn, he's a damn good builder. He's got this Lancia he's building. He's got it lit up. It looks freaking sweet.
More than welcome to.
Yeah, he's chicken.
Ever since I started making my own model glue and stopped buying the Tamiya stuff, I haven't had a problem with this stuff at all. Works exactly the same, dries the same speed.
Using MEK or something else?
50% acetone and 50% lacquer thinner. Just making my own. Well, nobody can see anyways. You're on
sorry.
But
I forget. Yeah, I get involved in doing other stuff and I forget.
No worries. I just use one of the old Tamiya bottles.
Fill it up half and half.
Mix my own. Yeah. Works perfect.
So just acetone.
The last three.
Huh.
Yeah, acetone and lacquer thinner. 50-50. And it works perfect. I mean, Everything's glued so far. And this is what, the 6th model so far that I've used that on. And as you can see, things are holding together. Including the extreme chop on the roof. That's all the glue I make. Okay. Now here's hoping I made that straight. A little hard to turn back now.
Well, you
Can
just
be
turned
done,
it into a
but
feature.
it's a little hard. What's
You
that?
take a mistake and you turn it into a feature.
There you go.
Yep. Just make the box a little bit shorter yet, that's all.
Well, you're kind of doing like a rat rod, so if it had a hole in it or something, that'd be all right too.
It's one thing, something, and you don't have to put anything against it. It's another thing when you got to shorten it and it's got to be straight because you got to finish building it.
This is true.
I still got the front, like the front of the box and the tailgate to put on this yet.
Well, that's pretty much all I did was build airplanes, and I just freaking ran out of room for them. So I kind of switched to the cars because cars were something I could build, and when it was built, 9 times out of 10 you could put it back in the box it came out of.
That's true.
With airplanes, rarely will that happen.
Yeah.
In fact, you can usually put 3 or 4 built cars into a box that one came out of. So I had a place to store them. So that's when I started building all the cars. But I still go back and do planes, or spaceships or whatever. If I'm not feeling the mojo on one genre, I just move to another one. The only type of build that just never tripped my trigger at all was doing a Gundam. I did it, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, time to move on. It just didn't trip my trigger at all.
I've never done one either.
I mean, I can see if you get into one of the anime shows or something, and that might do it. But yeah, without that reference, sometimes it's just like,
Doesn't appeal. It doesn't appeal to me.
Well, I mean, the one I did was
the closest thing I ever got to
probably one of the most famous ones.
Something like those things is. Closest I got to watching anything that resembles a Gundam is Pacific Rim.
See, I hated that movie, so maybe that's why I don't do the Gundam. This is the only one I've done, and he's only because he's famous. I knew who he was already. Good old Optimus Prime.
It's not really a Gundam, is it?
Well,
it's more of a transformer.
Well, I mean, no. Well, he doesn't transform. He's got 10 different hands. He's got the 10 different hands, and he's fully articulated and all that crap. So he's basically a Gundam. He's just not.
In my mind, to me, seeing that, it's like that's a transformer. That's like comparing him to like Pokemon and a werewolf. He's nowhere near a Gundam to me.
Got his matrix of leadership is in there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's as close. Okay, this is as close to a Gundam as I've done. And it's like I said, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
I had somebody send me one once, and I ended up cutting the damn thing up and used it for parts on a car. I'm not kidding.
No, that's I think it's great.
I took his shield. I took his arms apart. I freaking used joints. I used parts of his leg for like a rear cannon out of the car. His shield I turned into a retractable gun on the roof. But the whole thing come tumbling down. Like I had a shelf and it come tumbling down one day.
Oh,
So the car that I built just got totally destroyed. Slowly putting it all back together. If Bob will put me up there.
Okay. Change it.
But yeah, this thing totally got destroyed. But it's an old Cougar.
yeah.
But this is like the swords or something off of that guy. That piece and this one. I think this is part of his armor on his shoulder. I think this here was like some blades or something that came out on his leg. This was his shield. If I can get it to pop up here. Yeah, there we go. That's his shield. You can see the crest that it had, but yeah, I turned it into a pop-up gun. And then I had all the big wheels on this thing. I got to finish putting it all back together. This is the turret gun that goes on the back, which is partly his handgun. So it's kind of like an apocalypse car, right? The door had one of his guns, and the door actually slides in and out. Slides in and out of the car. Once I get it all fixed again. But yeah, it come flying off the shelf one day. Well, the whole shelf come down, so had to fix this, and surprisingly enough, well, the shelf actually landed on this car, so this thing took pretty much the entire brunt.
Wow. Solid hit.
Oh yeah, but I mean that whole suspension, like the chassis, that's all hand built and everything else. So
Serge, I'm old enough that Transformers were a cartoon way before they were a movie.
Yep.
Way.
Yep, used to watch them every day.
Now the
Autobots roll out.
Now the voice actor was the same guy from the original cartoons, but yeah.
Yep.
Everything except for the last. He wasn't the voice actor in the very last movie they did. But up
And
until
then
then,
there was the annoying.
Oh, he died.
The annoying.
He
Starscream.
died, didn't he?
no. And then the guy that started, he's still, yeah. I think they just quit. He retired.
In the cartoon, and there was the annoying voice of Starscream.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try.
I think he just prayed that he wasn't in that episode.
Hey, Boston. Well, I got a couple of my original youth builds left. A couple of planes and stuff that were hanging in my mom's basement when I left for college. They were still there when I came back as an adult. And I took them down off the ceiling and took 8 pounds of crust off of them and stuck them in the bathtub and got the dirt off and kind of put them back together a little bit and stuck them back up where they were.
I'd say I've probably got about at least half of the models I made when I was a kid. I still got about half.
But most of my car models were pretty beat up, so when we had to make tough choices, they went. I salvaged whatever parts I could off of them, and then it just went away. Of course, they weren't built great
The
either.
airplanes were the ones. The airplanes are the ones that didn't survive with me. I mean, my bedroom was on the, well, it's called a 2.5-story house, right? So I was in the attic bedroom type thing.
Yep.
And yeah, a lot of my airplanes had firecrackers, lighter fluid, and out the window. Let's see how far they'll go before they'll blow up with lighter fluid and firecrackers.
Yeah, well, we did that one
But when you're,
time,
you know,
and
10 and 12.
we soaked a plane down with Cox glow fuel, which
Yep.
burns clear.
Yeah.
And then right when we threw the firecracker in on the plane, my youngest brother, who was probably 6 at the time, runs right up and says, "What are you doing?" He stuck his face right down in there.
Oh.
And we flashed all of his hair and his eyebrows and off, and we had to do some quick shampooing and trimming before Mom got home. I think she still knew, but she never said anything.
Yeah,
He didn't. He hardly had any eyebrows less, and his hair was a whole lot shorter. He already had a crew cut, but
at least he wasn't serious.
See, we had one of those. We had one of those cheap swimming pools out back, right? So that's what I was aiming for. But I think I got maybe 1 out of 4 or something in there.
because every summer my dad would buy me one of those Cox PT 17 or 19 control line planes, or the Mustang control line plane, which would go 3 times around before it hit the ground and exploded into 1,000 pieces. So I always had a can of fuel laying
Holy
around.
hell! I think I made them the same length. Good God.
Yep. So you had. I'll say I was a kid. I was into cartoons. I was probably still in high school. I was into a lot of those Voltron and a lot of the anime. A lot of the anime ones that came over from Japan. I watched.
Voltron. Voltron's the one with the lions.
Yeah, the lions that turned into the giant robot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was the other one too. Or was that the
Then there was like the Thundercats one, and then Man, and
it was another one that had 5. Was it Power Rangers that had
the
original Voltron
Battle on the Planet? The other one was Battle of the Planets or Gotcha Man, depending on which side of the pond you were on.
Was it
their spaceship turned into a fiery phoenix, and
this was kind of like Voltron, because Voltron had the 5 people, but it had like the animals, right? The lions or whatever. But then there was another one that was 5 people that they were kind of more like motorcycles or something.
That was
and it did the same thing.
That was Battle of the Planets.
It turned into
each one had
Was it?
The one had a motorcycle, one had like an Indy car, one has this tank looking thing.
Yeah.
And they all
and it turned into a big robot.
Yeah. Well, it all was part of their big spaceship that when it time to kick ass, it turned into the fiery phoenix, and it went from being a spaceship to a flaming bird, and destroy everything in its path.
Yeah.
Kind of like Voltron would get his ass kicked until he hit the sword of power, and that was it. Fight was over.
Yeah, I had both of the toys where you transform them kind of thing and then turn them into the robot or whatever it was.
Yeah, my youngest brothers were the Thundercats and He-Man era.
Yeah. He-Man. I like Hercules with Newt.
I didn't know when I was a kid.
Remember
when I was a
Hercules?
kid, yeah. When I was a kid, they had a live action Shazam and ISIS hour on Saturday mornings. It came on after the Justice League, and that was bad. that Shazam and ISIS Power Hour. Those were horrible. It's kind of like when the Hulk, where they had two different guys. The one guy was this alter ego, and the other one was Shazam, and there were two different people. One was like a 19-year-old scrawny kid,
Yeah.
and then Shazam was this 40-year-old guy, Superman-looking guy. Every time he said Shazam and stuck his fist in the air, the lightning bolt would hit him, and he would transform. And Isis was she was an Egyptian chick that kind of the same thing. She could transform into superhero.
And then you used to watch all the live action ones, like you say, Wonder Woman, Bionic Man.
Yep, and Bionic Woman both. $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman.
Yeah, that's what it was. Used to watch those all the time. Then, of course, all the good ones: Starsky and Hutch, Chips, Street Hawk, Airwolf, Viper, Dukes of Hazzard, A-Team, and on and on and on.
Yeah, as a young kid, I never understood why Dad made sure we watched Buck Rogers every week. Now, as an adult, I have full appreciation of why he wanted to watch Buck Rogers every week. It was kind of like the Sonny and Cher show. Every week they decided to see how much clothing they could get away with.
Yep.
How naked they could get the actress and get away with. And so as a child, I had no appreciation of that, but watching the reruns when I was like 17 or 18, I fully understood.
I always liked Gilligan's Island.
When you find out your father was loading up his spank bank.
Probably was. Of course, he had 7 kids, so it was probably getting it fairly regular. But, need to leave these alone. Let that putty dry properly and not mess with it. So let's put you over here.
I know, I'm at that point too where you can't touch that until it's dry. Can't touch that till it's dry. Can't touch those till it's dry. It's like, now what?
Well, I'm using acrylic putty, so it dries fairly quick, but you still really can't sand it till it's dried for a couple hours.
We all have so many projects in the works.
Well, I'm usually one to 2 at the most. I have 1 or 2 long-term projects, but then usually 2 active is about the most I have.
Maybe just clean up for a little bit here.
Oh yeah, the 3 stacks, yeah, from the Land of the Lost.
Yep.
Only one of them talked. The rest of them, all they did was hiss. For some reason, they were able to capture the people every week, even though they moved like it crawls a crawling pace.
Yeah.
Kind of like the old monster movies, you know. No matter how fast you ran, they could barely walk, but they could still keep up with you. They had a rubber boat in Land of the Lost. And even the remake that Will Ferrell did was okay. It wasn't as good as the original one, but it was okay. I think because they were poking fun at the other one, at the original. Okay, where's my gold paint? I don't want to use the bronze paint. We'll do the gold. Gold will be brighter. But when I was probably 6, 7, 8 years old, we had all the independent TV had all the Japanese shows on when we get home from school and stuff. Ultraman and Johnny Sacco and there was another one that was like a Godzilla type thing, but it wasn't Godzilla. But hey, Edward. And Speed Racer and Johnny Quest and Scooby Doo came along a little bit later. I was a little bit older when Scooby Doo started.
Scooby Doo.
And then we had HR Puff and stuff, which was completely wacko.
Oh yeah.
They were taking some good stuff when they were writing that show.
Yeah.
What show was that?
HR Puff and stuff.
Oh,
Puff was a magic dragon.
Makeup.
And the villain was Witchy Poo. He was after Jimmy and his magic flute all the time.
Yep.
No entendres met there, you know. Yeah, I have seen the Speed Racer movie. It wasn't great, but it was okay. I mean, it was watchable. It was too CGI. I mean, they went overboard on the CGI and kind of made it over the top.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize they tried to make it cornball like the TV show was a little bit, but they kind of went over the top, especially with the CGI. But I would love to get an actual shooting star model kit. There is a 3D file out there of it, but I'd love somebody to make a real actual plastic kit of it. To go with the Mach 5, you have to have the shooting star. That was Racer X's car, the yellow black one.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Because I built the Pontiac Banshee, I painted it up to look like the GRX. It doesn't really look like it, but it's close enough for government work.
Yep, yeah, I remember that.
There's a 3D file of that one too. I'm tempted to buy them and get somebody to print them for me.
Yeah, cleaned up enough for now.
Yeah, but I watch cartoons probably up through college because that's kind of what you do in college, right? You play foosball and watch cartoons. You don't really study most of the time. Be right back. Okay, we'll give that gold a couple minutes to dry, and I'll put another coat on it, and we'll be good on that. Oh yeah, we had party line when I was a kid because we lived way out in the country. We were party line 63, phone number 1, 6301. Yeah, when we first moved into the town I'm in now, you only had to dial the last 4 digits. If you wanted to call somebody else on the party on your party line, you'd have to dial their number, then hang the phone up, wait for it to quit ringing, and then you knew that they were on the line, and you pick it up, talk to them. Yeah, Chet, my G.I. Joes were 12 inches tall, though. They weren't these little guys. And they had the Kung Fu grip.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
That's what she said.
And I'd go to about every 3 weeks, I'd save up enough money to go to the drugstore at the corner, and I could buy an adventure pack for G.I. Joe. Be like a deep sea set, and you'd have the wetsuit and the scuba gear and a shark or some other adventure set would have different parts in it, different stuff.
That's something me and my cousin talked about that we cannot find out of our childhood. All of the G.I. Joe that we had all the vehicles and the bases and all the men. We don't know where any of it went. We have all kinds of childhood toys, but we don't know where any of the G.I. Joe went.
Let me guess, Kevin. Her name is Jenny.
I remember with G.I. Joe, we used to take their arms and legs off and swap them.
Sluggo did like Eddie
Swap
Murphy and
them
his
with
brother
others.
in the bathtub with the G.I. Joe. And then the big brown shark came. I don't know if you see.
Well, I had sisters, so my Joes had to suffer the humiliation of being married to Barbie every time he turned around. If you didn't keep them put away, you found that he was always getting married to Barbie. Yeah, I got mine right when they were trying to demilitarize him a little bit, and it became more of an action hero type thing. So they didn't have like the military set's too much for them. The
And
combat
then in the
kit.
80s, they said F it, went back the other way.
Yeah. So you get like a adventure kit would be a scuba gear, wetsuit, and a shark, or explorer. It would be like the khaki with the pith helmet and stuff like that. Not like a one of those. They
You know
turn
what?
one of those plastic bat kites into a hang glider.
You know what makes me ill these days is all the G.I. Joe Transformers stuff we had. There's this
we
huge
just
toy store. There's this huge toy store in Indy called the Toy Pit, and all they deal in is vintage toys.
Oh yeah.
I walked through that place, and I'm like, oh, I had that. It's going for how much? Oh, my God.
Yeah, right.
And when my youngest was younger, I got in this nostalgic period. I got on eBay, bought a bunch of old G.I. Joe stuff from the 80s. They played with the hell out of those things, the planes, the everything, right? And I was at this place, and I called my wife. I'm like, hey, where's all the G.I. Joe stuff I bought for Nick? She goes, oh, I gave it away to so-and-so. I was like, no. I might have paid a few $100s on eBay. That stuff was worth a couple thousand today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it just makes you sick.
No, it's just the same as the stories of all the comic books that were given away and thrown away, and from people had them from the 50s, and when they went to school or whatever, their moms threw them away or gave them to the kid down the street, or baseball cards that were put in the spokes of their bicycles. And
I gave when I went into the military in '94, I gave my brother my almost brand new set of Jordan 9s. Because for some reason I thought I'd never wear civilian clothes again, apparently. And the next time I saw them, they were destroyed. When I was out in California, my wife is really into vintage sneakers. When I was out in California, this shop out there, I asked him, I'm like, hey, here's the shoes I had. Can you get me a pair? And he's like, yeah, those are going to be about $1,000. Like, oh my God. I bought them things at JCPenney's for like $100.
yeah, if you have a Hot Wheel track, would definitely leave a welt. But the worst one was the zip strap from the SSP cars. You could play,
I forgot about those things.
or you could do the world's worst Indian burn if you put the tire spinning on your arm.
Yeah.
Or your brother's arm. It would peel the skin right off. Which is probably the reason why you can't have that kind of toys today.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
Your
right.
generation got us all the safety regulations.
Yeah, we had lawn darts and everything.
Oh, I remember playing with, what were they called, jarts back in the day?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
I can remember playing with it. Of course, we never did, like, what was that movie Grown Ups where they throw it up in the air and everyone runs? We never got that stupid. But it was pretty stupid sitting on the opposite end of the person that was launching them towards you.
Yeah.
Wonder how many people got seriously injured by those things.
Probably too many.
I mean, to be fair, those should be
Enough
Darwin
to get
Award
it
winners
free.
anyway.
And I always wanted the gas powered pogo stick, but I couldn't swing.
Gas powered.
Yep.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
It was a pogo stick that had a spark plug and a battery in it, and your fuel tank, and the compression. You compressing it when you jumped on it. It would open up and squirt fuel in, and it would close down, and it would fire. It was like a piston going off, and it would.
That had to have been back when only men worked at toy companies.
Yeah, about the same time that AC Gilbert put out the radioactive lab set and the laboratory sets that had all the toxic chemicals in it. You know.
Have fun with this glow in the dark.
Yeah. You got a Geiger counter and uranium and all kinds of stuff in those sets.
Yep.
And we turned out just fine.
We survived the lead paint and everything.
That's right.
A couple more minutes. Give that a couple more minutes.
I'm sitting here using this green stuff, epoxy putty or whatever it is. No gloves on. I'm sucking on this pick to make it wet so it doesn't stick to the putty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the clackers. We had clackers. We had the slip and slide. We had that the wet willy thing that was.
Do you know how well the slip and slide works in the wintertime when you get about 6 people on it going down a hill? That is the best crazy carpet in the world.
Bubble. The super elastic bubble plastic.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
Basically colored tester's glue in a tube and it was a straw that you put it on the end of a straw and blow it up to make bubbles.
It just looked like it was in too far.
That's not what she said.
Definitely in too far. Yeah, I had a little fit issue here with my window. Shit.
Well, they were tempered glass, More people were injured from the string breaking and launching the glass ball at light speed.
Okay.
A lot of broken fingers.
Yeah.
Because you try to get them going and your friend would try to grab one.
Yeah, we had the water rockets too. That was another one I bought all the time was the water rocket.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I bet if I went, well, they're not now because they put a new roof on. I'm going to say if we went to our old farmhouse, there was probably a dozen of them still up on the roof when they redid the roof a couple of years ago.
Well, it's 5 after 10. I'm at pretty much a stopping point at this point. So
Okay.
I think I'm going to call it a night, guys.
All right.
And girls, if there's any on. So thank you very much for having me on.
You're welcome.
I hope you all have a
You're
great
welcome.
night.
Have a good night.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, Mark. Take care.
Good night, Mark.
Later, everybody.
The Mexican jumping beans, yeah, I had those. All that crap, Dunkin' Yo-Yos, all that crap that was on the back of your Boys Life magazine or comic books that you could order. The sea monkeys and X-ray spectacles and all that crap.
Yep.
Own your own army, 10,000 army men for 99 cents. When you get into those little plastic army men. And half of them were broken and half. And oh, I'd say half the stuff we had as kids you couldn't sell today.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's funny how times have changed. I can remember back in the 80s, we used to run around the neighborhood playing war with all our friends, right? And the more realistic your gun looked, the better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I literally had this conversation with my 19, well, he turns 19 tomorrow. He plays airsoft. And for his birthday, he wanted a new gun. So we bought it for him. I just showed up. My wife, I get home from work, my wife's like, your son looks like the Terminator up there. I'm like, what? I go up there, he's got this RPK, this freaking light machine gun. And here, I'm looking at this going, there's no red tip on it. There's nothing. That thing looks like a real gun.
Huh.
And I'm like, yeah, make sure that's in a case when you're driving to the,
Oh, God, yeah.
It looks so realistic. I'm like, I'd feel bad. Now this is, getting old. I'm like, I'd feel a lot better if you put an orange tip on that thing.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of unsafe things with the Estes rocket motors. That was when I was later, and that was probably a teenager when we started doing that kind of crap.
We used to
Took a little
run
more
around
ingenuity.
on our BMXs trying to do stunts like Evel Knievel with no fucking protective gear.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised none of us ended up in wheelchairs from that shit.
Yep.
The bigger the jump, the higher, the farther. Today I'd be like, was I stupid?
No. You were 10 foot tall and bulletproof, like we all are.
Definitely lucky though.
Yeah.
And I think of all the crashes from taking big jumps and things like, man, all it would have taken was a wrong one and you'd be a vegetable.
Well, kids are more flexible and they bounce more. So
yeah, well, when you're, and then creates the thing too. When you did have the bad, no matter how bad the crash was, it wouldn't stop you from doing it once you recovered.
no.
I had some hellacious bike crashes. I never miraculously never broke a bone. All my skateboarding friends were the ones that were always in fucking casts.
The only broken bone I got was playing hockey. And that was such a fluke accident that I probably couldn't do it again if you tried.
I somehow managed not to break a bone until I was in the military, and then I broke it playing basketball at the gym. I took a full court pass on the tip of my index finger and broke the damn thing.
That's kind of what I had. Hockey gloves are they're like armor plated everywhere except for the very tips of your finger and the palm. And a puck hit right on the end of my pinky finger and broke it.
When you ever pop the front of a finger with a ball or something, it hurts like a mother, right? Well, I popped this index finger, and I kept playing. Within about 10 minutes, my hand was like the size of a softball.
Yeah.
One of the guys playing on it with us was a doctor at the base hospital. He's like, you need to go to the hospital now. I'm like, what? It's fine. By the time I got to the hospital, I was in so much pain. I'm like, please give me pain meds. Broke the growth plate on my finger. Ooh. And it doesn't point straight anymore. It was this finger. I don't know if you can see the curve in that bastard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was 19 years old, broke the growth plate. He told me, he said, it's going to heal funny. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I broke mine. What hurt more was when I went to the hospital and they drilled a hole in my fingernail and let all the blood out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That hurt 10 times worse than breaking it.
So I don't really count breaking a finger as really breaking a bone. I mean, I think it's a different kind of pain, but it wasn't until I never really actually broke a bone until 2019 when I had my motorcycle crash. And I broke 3 ribs. And then it was like, oh, that's what it feels like. It freaking hurt. And then 2 weeks after my accident, I broke 3 ribs on my left side. I'm out in the back trying to help my wife clean the pool. And we had one of those sun decks where it was a section of the pool was only like 12 inches deep. So you can sit in it. Well, I was standing near there and I slipped and put 1 foot into it and went on my knee on the other and I re-broke one of the ribs. Holy shit. Ouch. My neighbors down the street were calling like, what was that screaming we heard?
No, I hit a sparrow when I was riding my motorcycle 60 miles an hour in the chest, and I thought I was a dead man.
Oh, man, that must have really knocked the wind out of you.
Yes, it did. I'm surprised I was able to get the bike stopped without dropping it.
I was riding with a friend, and he had his hand hang out the window of my car, and he hit a June bug or something, one of these real hard-shelled bugs, and he broke 2 fingers on his hand. And I'll never forget the sound when that thing went crack on his finger. He was like, oh, damn, that hurt. And then his hand just started ballooning up from a freaking bug.
Needless to say, the next day I went down to the cycle shop and had a fairing put on my bike.
Yeah.
Had a windshield fairing put on it. That wouldn't happen again.
I've only
Yeah,
had one
hurt.
bike without a fairing. I put a little fly screen on it, which helped a little bit, but I never thought about something like that happening.
Oh, it was just an old Honda 750 4-cylinder, so it was not like a big fancy bike, but it would top out at about 65 miles an hour with my fat ass on it. But boy, that freaking bird hurt.
That's fast enough.
You can maybe get 80 if you're going down a big hill, and you'd be doing 45 going up the other side. But it got me from A to B.
The worst is like taking a rock to the shin. Oh my God, does that hurt? It's like getting snapped with a towel or something.
Yeah, Kevin, I had an English Raleigh 10-speed when I was a teenager. When I outgrew the Schwinn bike.
I take that back. Serge was talking about getting his bike stolen.
Yep.
That finger was not the first time I broke a bone. I was in ninth, just a couple weeks before my freshman year of high school. I was out visiting my aunt, and this kid stole my really expensive BMX bike that I custom built because I worked at the bike shop. And some of the kids that knew who stole it from me helped me track it down. And once I got the bike back, the kid came out and attacked me with a baseball bat, swung at my head, hit my arm, cracked this, whatever bone this is. It wasn't really a break, it just cracked it, but it swelled up like a break. I did get my bike back though, Serge. Sorry about yours.
Hey, Andrew, how are you tonight?
Yeah.
Andrew. Good to see you, man.
Man, long time.
He goes to the baseball game all the time. He's high styling.
Uh-huh.
Haven't seen you guys in a while.
Hey,
Yeah, mine was a Diamondback. No, it was a GT. That's how I got into working at the bike shop. In fact, I bought the frame off the bike shop owner, and he offered me a job so I could pay for the parts. I worked a whole summer to pay for that thing.
Dad, how do you make it smaller?
Yeah, that sucks.
What?
How do you make it smaller to see myself?
How you make it smaller?
Hey, Lewis.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Oh, you got to keep it like this, bud.
Mm.
Well, everybody, I got to call it a night. Gotta get
Okay.
to bed so I can get up and pay the bills. It's good seeing y'all.
Let's keep like that. Oh.
You have a good night?
You
Have a
too.
good night.
Hope things go better with your mom.
Yeah, I hope so too. Well, I know it's not, but hopefully
Well, I
we
know.
keep her home as long as possible.
Absolutely.
It's a one-way street, but as long as we can keep her going slow.
Keep some good thoughts for you and her.
Well, thank you.
We'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.
You like that?
It's not.
What you guys been working on there, Andrew?
Oh, big car. 120 scale.
I have no sound.
Oh, cool.
Hello?
Yeah,
We can hear you, yes.
Hello?
we can hear you.
Stop ignoring me! I have no sound, seriously. What
So
the fuck?
the louder
What the
you
fuck?
yell
Oh.
doesn't help your audio.
I had my sound off.
Jesus.
Yeah, the louder you talk doesn't
Yeah,
help
120
your
scale.
sound
I had my sound off.
That's cool. I never seen that.
Yeah, Andrew's working on a bigger scale.
Nice.
Oh, buddy.
Wait.
Was that a late '90s Camaro? That's one of my favorite Camaros.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the old catfish Camaros. I love
I
them.
wanted a '98 so bad when they came out.
Oh, man. Same with the
Firebirds. I love them,
Buddy
especially
goes
later in there.
Buddy goes on eBay and starts bidding when they're low, and a lot of times he'll just leave a bid in there of a couple dollars, and nobody else will bid.
Yeah, that
Oh
happens.
God, Lewis, you showed him what eBay is.
Yeah,
I bought a Model F a guy a couple years ago. He wanted like $50 for it. He had a buy it now.
oh, E-boy.
He had to buy it now for 50 or best offer or bid, right?
Yeah,
So I put it a bid, like the first bid was like $15 or $18. And I sent him an offer to buy it for 40. I just wanted to get the kit, right? And he said no. Then I ended up winning it for 20 bucks anyway.
yeah, E-boy. Yeah, that's happened to me before.
I thought he was going to cancel the sale, but he said it to me. I was like, man, you could have got an extra 20 bucks.
Yeah, and there's some that's pretty good. It's a body.
His body.
That's a 20th, huh?
Yeah, that's a 120th.
Wow.
One of them on Lindbergh.
Actually, yes, it is.
Cool.
Nice.
I got 20th.
Are you going to build it as a police car or something else?
That's Peter's car.
Cool.
Yeah, he likes chips.
There you
Yeah,
go,
I-
Andrew.
I like chips too until they gave me my first ticket when I lived in California.
That's the only 20th I got, which I need a motor and some wheels for that sucker.
I've never seen that kid either. Man, this week, everything everybody's putting up, I've never seen before.
$5.
15, yeah. I'm not talking down to
$5,
10.
no.
The thing I really liked about it, where does it show it? It's got the 90s mesh
yeah.
tailgate.
What do they call those, arrow gates or something like that?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
They had some name for those things.
Air gates. They were the mesh gates.
Air
yeah.
gates, yeah.
You
Yeah, I
guys
need
heard
to,
that? There's this. I got this kit. I don't know how I stumbled on it, but it was like $2 to start. Cancel at any time. And it's a completely decorated die cast, a 1/8 scale.
Really? And how
Yeah.
much did you pay for it?
Huh?
That's good.
How much did you pay for it?
$2. But it's like a membership. They're $14. It's $14
that's the donk.
$2 is to get started, but then it's $14 every month, and they send you a section a month.
One of them kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
One of
until
the
you finish.
D'Agostino's.
So
Yeah.
you can put it on hold anytime you want to, or you don't. Anytime you don't. But anyway, they sent the first two parts came in because it was the first two parts for $2.
Nice. Like a subscription or whatever they call those things.
Yeah, Eagle Moss or D'Agostino's or
Check this out, Jimmy. I got the
Yeah, the D'Agostino or something like that.
that's what the two colors. I got the white on there, got the blue.
That's the nose.
Yeah,
That's a big ass nose. That's
That's
bigger than
the one-
5
Holy crap.
the first.
Hey,
the first couple-
easy on Fafa, easy on Fafa.
And that comes how often?
Once a month, you get
once
a
a month,
piece.
yeah.
Like that's the first piece,
Oh,
but
that is cool.
to get started, they said the first two pieces. That's the hood.
Holy crap, that thing's huge.
Yeah, it is. And it's got hood pins. Everything screws together. It comes with a screwdriver.
Oh, that's cool.
Except there's select, and it's kind of a trip because there's selective pieces in there. Like the next month I'll get a cup, a Jeff Gordon cup. Then the next time I get the next shipment, the next part of the kit. Then I'll get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I get a
That's
hat.
awesome. T-shirt.
So you get gifts.
Nice.
I'm like, holy moly! I got to go back and see how many pieces it's going to be. It's probably going to be like $5,000.
God, what?
There's a shitload of these pieces. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
there's
have
usually
to.
about-
I thought they get you $2 at a time, and then it's like
You're not paying for it.
I paid $800 for this car.
That's about what they are when they're done. Because usually they have
What's
80,
that?
80 to 100 stages. They usually have about anywhere between 80 and 100 stages on those,
Oh my god!
and they're $15 a stage.
Yeah, well, if it's
But yeah,
15,
but yeah,
if you have 100 stages at $15, that'll end up being 1,500.
15, yeah.
Oh my god!
But that'll
Yeah,
have
see how big the car is going to be. That's the only reason I ain't got in. They got one for the Paul Walker R34 GTR, and there are
Yeah,
people
but
selling them that all the complete parts to build it. Yeah, it's like $5,000.
But you'll find out over the time that has every single part of the car will be there.
yeah, I figured that. I
lot
figured that
of
would be about as easy building as working on my pickup truck with Brian.
A lot of those have NASCAR wouldn't have lighting, but a lot of them have sound in them too.
Yeah,
you
that's
push-
in the case.
If you
And the
push the
case
brake,
is like one of the last things that they ship you.
a lot of them, like if you push the brake pedal, the tail lights come on, brake lights come on, and stuff like that.
Damn. Crazy shit.
But I'm a big Jeff Gordon fan though.
So there's the final white and the final blue on this.
Oh, it looks good.
I got obviously the top part has to be painted on the cab properly, but that's what the blue will look like. The hood is done. This is not. And then that's a pure white on the bottom half. I just painted that tonight. It's kind of hard painting white paint over white primer, but anyway, this is. I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to look pretty cool. I'm going to tape it up tomorrow and paint the top half.
Night, Ted. Be on tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. Yep, I'll try to be there.
See you tomorrow, Ted.
I don't know if I'll be there or not. I'm working tomorrow night, which might be I might be getting a new job here pretty soon. Fucking the Belleville Boot Company is hiring. They make military boots. They've been making military boots since 1902, 03.
What are you, the boot tester?
Nah. I'd be like running like a dock, like running a forklift, packing shit, smashing boxes, loading trucks, and just stuff like that. Said they'll pay. They'll get you forklift certified and start you as soon as you're certified. They'll have you like doing other little stuff while you're getting certified, though. So you're still working and making money during your certification.
I'm about to put this Wadle next month, but this is going to be the stance of my 37. The rears are bigger than the front.
Face is glowing.
I got a dull coat the tire. It's going to have
Face is glowing.
a black center with the chrome Ford caps that come out of the kit.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah, I think it's going to sit pretty low. I'm not chopping or anything fancy, but
Mine was a stripper. That navy blue I painted it with. I think my paint went bad.
telling you, man, got that airbrush. Flawless the first time.
Yeah.
We're going to get
I
you
got everything
converted.
set up. I just need some stuff for it, which I know Gary said he's sending me a couple
I
things.
got the box of the other stuff ready to go. I've been super busy. I'm going to try to get it out to you this week. I got leveling thinner, some primer. I got a bottle of Pro Scale for you to try, and some airbrush cleaning stuff.
I think Gary said he's sending me a few House of Color things.
Yeah, he bought you a pretty bit of order. I don't know, he's planning to get a date from you or something. I saw the order. It was not cheap.
No, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I'd feel bad.
But yeah, well, I wouldn't. I mean, we just want you to try it. But the thing is with that paint is It takes this car has 12 coats of this purple on it. I didn't even use a half an ounce on this.
Mm.
It's just your paint is gonna go so far in an airbrush. It hardly
engine.
Nice.
It's big.
Sweet, buddy.
That was a pretty good size engine.
Ooh. Where's my big engine? Big engine.
Kevin Smith, I was wondering if he's going to be the guy that they test kicking the ass with the boots when they're done. Ooh,
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dark
Jimmy,
Horse.
when you come across the bridge with these, the
Oh,
Missouri State
that
Highway
cop.
Patrol is starting using the new Mustangs. Mustang
Indiana
500.
Highway
They got new Dark
uses,
Horses.
Indiana Highway Patrol uses those. What are those
Yeah.
Durangos, the souped up ones?
Hellcat Durangos.
Yeah. Oh my God. Every time you see one of those, do not mess with it.
Illinois got a bunch of them too. We got a bunch
They're
of
getting them for the
Hellcat
interstate
Durangos.
interceptors.
I got to be careful because I could smoke those things pretty easy, and it's so tempting.
Our cannot run radios. Well,
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. No, but everyone's when I was out in California, everybody knew what a Tesla Plaid was. Here in Indiana, everybody tests you, and it takes some willpower not to run.
Yeah,
big motor.
Then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just rolled those out 4 days ago. They're gonna start seeing them on all the big interstates.
Just that one.
I do have fun though because my city uses Tesla police cars, and they don't know around here who's got them. So I had a guy who was going to work the other day on the freeway. This guy took off down the freeway like 100 miles an hour, so I just gunned it and got up behind him and just followed him for a while. He didn't go above the speed limit the rest of the drive.
Yeah, it's not like the old days when they drove Crown Vics because they all had black grills.
Yep.
If you saw a Crown Vic with a black grill coming at you, you knew it was
If
a
you
highway
drive
patrol
a
car.
white Crown Vic with a roof rack,
I don't know. We still have some running around here, and they got chrome grills. They're old school style. We
very nice.
have a lot of
Gary,
Crown Vics still here in Illinois.
Gary sent me a couple pictures. He can do Jimmy style pickups. That looks pretty good. I don't know why he's scared to get in here.
Gary, I emailed you back, and that was kind of a serious question. I won't say it on stream, but that was a serious question. I also cannot see chat, so because Restream just fucking hates me. It won't let me scroll down. I don't know if I scroll down.
Here, let me see if.
Oh, you son of a bitch! There's chat.
There's one of Gary's trucks. He wanted to show you.
Let me scroll back up.
Cool.
Damn.
Oh,
Cool.
right there. And this is the one he's working on right now that's lighted.
That's badass.
And I can't go to the next
Yes,
picture.
yes.
Because it's a foot picture. Oh yeah, he can build. Hold on, let me stop share for a second to get past the foot picture to show you the.
Okay.
That's a good looking truck, though.
All right, here's some more Gary work.
Yeah, I need to do a few more slam trucks. I've done so many four-wheel drive trucks. I'm gonna slam a couple more. Ooh,
I got engine.
Yeah,
Is that a
that's pretty
2JZ?
nice. I don't think so. This is for an Audi that he's working on.
No.
I think that's an Audi. I don't know my rally cars.
No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's a Model Factory Hero right there. Just a couple of pieces.
Judas. That's more parts than this.
I got one.
Recent
Yeah,
square body.
they've got a lot of parts. I've got one sitting over here. Hold on, let me get past the next foot pictures, and I'll get to the car I wanted to show you.
Oh, you're not showing them.
Yeah, I don't know if he's authorized the foot pictures to be out here. Hold on, let me count how many pictures I got here that were saved.
I should have said that. I'm about to get an email of a foot pick. I swear to God.
He's going to show you what you're missing.
I shouldn't have freaking said
Here we go.
anything.
Here's one that he just finished recently.
Damn.
He does nice.
That car.
Ferrari or no, it's Mercedes.
Cyber Mercedes, yeah.
That's Ferrari.
That's sweet. Good.
That's my picture. He does good work.
Ooh, I like those wheels.
Yeah, that was my picture from the. Those are going on the Ford.
Sweet.
I think I'm gonna paint those the same white in the body color. Something about that white does it for me. Thought about doing a metallic, but I think
Is it done?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
forget that Ford. It's going on a big set of these. 26-inch forces wrapped around a set of boggers.
That should look pretty cool.
These are going on a 92 single cab short bed Chevy. I've had it mocked up here for 3 weeks and I haven't touched
No, Gary, I'm not showing the honey.
Dad.
I skipped it. Jesus.
it. Goodness, Gary.
He sent me a. I don't know if it's his footy and porn.
New seat ballers.
I don't need to see that.
Throw them up. Oh, Bob's gone. Oh, those are cool looking, little buddy. What are you putting those on?
Gary, you got to send those
I
to
got
Jimmy
to
directly.
print them.
Oh.
Nice.
What are you putting these on?
Those are going on your Camaro?
There you go, little
They're
buddy.
coming out.
Nice.
But that print's out.
One of these days I might get
Those
a
are
print.
cool.
Bob, what color are you doing your 37?
It's a two-tone, coochie pink and booty hole brown.
Okay, got my gold paint on.
What color is that,
Paint on
Butterbeer?
tomorrow.
Oh, that's the base coat. You doing a candy
Yeah.
over that?
Yeah, orange.
Just
Oh, that's gonna look nice.
That's gonna go white.
Fire tester's lacquer, fiery orange. So
That's gonna go
Who
white.
was it that just did that orange car over gold recently? That wasn't you, was it?
flaming orange. I'm sorry, it's flaming, not fiery. Fiery is the opaque one. Flaming is the clear.
Who did the orange over gold one recently in here? was
Fred did on the
I'll get more in a minute.
on his dart.
Maybe that's the one I saw. Looked really nice.
I got that. So I got to paint this interior for the donk. I color matched.
So Jimmy, you got to get your booth set up because we're gonna do an off air hangout when you're ready.
Yeah.
I got it.
I just need to run the pipe out the window.
Once you get my package and you get Gary's package, we'll do an off air hangout and we'll do some painting with you.
All right, hell yeah.
I've got you've probably seen I have the camera set up in the booth now so I can actually show you what we're doing.
Yeah.
Dang.
The big thing is, again, remember to pick up some cheap lacquer thinner. Like I said, I use Clean Strip. Pick up some of that. So I don't know if you watch me when I'm painting, but between colors, I run the couple lacquer thinner through it while I clean out the paint that's in there, and then just switch colors.
Yeah,
you can do that quite a few times.
Go grab you one of these from Harbor Freight. They're a couple bucks.
Yep. Spray out pot.
Man, my Hobby Lobby had one on the clearance rack a couple weeks ago, and I should have grabbed it.
Yeah, you gotta have one of those, especially when you're cleaning out your airbrush between coats. You'd spray it all into there.
Yep. So you can get a Harbor Freight. It's like $6 or something like that. They're not.
Yeah, that's one of those things when I first got an airbrush.
Definitely.
I didn't have one at first, and then when I finally got one, I was like, "Oh my god, I should have had one."
Stick the airbrush in, and you squirt it, and then empty out when you put your thinner and stuff in. And then I usually, when I'm done with it for the day, I'll put some water in it and shake it around and dump it outside.
You know, somebody showed me a cool trick. I put one of my shop paper towels in the bottom of it, and it keeps all that stuff from sloshing around. And then what I do is I leave it in the paint booth with the paint booth covered, and it just evaporates out the window. I can go several months before I have to empty that thing.
Yeah, I do too. This has probably been 6 months since I emptied
The
it.
nice thing though, if you put the paper towel or whatever in the bottom, is all that gunk doesn't stick to the glass; it just stays in the paper towel. The last,
That's a good idea.
yeah, I can't remember who showed me that, but the last time I cleaned my pot out that had the paper towel, and I was like, oh my god, you take it out and you're done.
Yeah, my problem was Boston, when I had my GTO, they couldn't catch me, but they knew who I was. So they just come around the next day and said, what were you doing last night?
Yeah, that's where I got to be careful too, because not a lot of people driving around what I got.
Well, you could hear my car start from a mile away because it was originally it was been converted to a dragster, and I was in the process of converting it back to be street legal, but I wasn't quite there yet.
I was like, when I had my Mustang back in the day, I had I put 3-inch pipes on it, no cats, and Flowmaster 2 chambers. At idle, you could hear that thing down the street.
It had a 3/4 cam in it and was running straight pipes when I bought it.
Ooh, damn!
So it would sit there at stop like.
The guy that printed those big wheels for me for my truck, I went and picked up some stuff from him the other day. He's a diesel mechanic at a Ford dealer, and I went into the garage there. He had
Right there. Wait, put it there.
He had his 65 Galaxy 500 in there. He's got a Ford Racing 427 in it, straight pipes. Oh. It wasn't running, so I couldn't hear it, but I'm sure it's going to be ungodly.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
know. Boss lived about a half mile from work, and he knew every night when I was leaving work because he said in his house he could hear my car start up at the parking lot at work.
I do miss that riding electric. My wife and I we miss the sound of the engine, or like BMWs were turbos, and I miss the sound of turbo.
It's not.
But on road trips, I don't miss it. A road trip where you're not having to listen to the drone. I drove from Minneapolis to Miami in my Mustang with those Flowmasters on it. I was almost deaf by the time I got there.
Didn't some of the Teslas come with an optional sound system, so it sounded like an engine?
No, that's the Dodge. The Dodge one has that. Now they did have a mode where you could play sounds externally. I know some guy modified his to make engine sounds, which is kind of dumb.
It was only 10.
That new Dodge is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I had a big block 400 with two Poly 750 double pumpers on top.
Like, if you're gonna go electric, go electric. Don't try to make it sound like gas, or just do gas. You know.
Don't you dare be chewing on that pillow.
My wife and I are car people. We don't give a shit that it's electric or gas or whatever. It's whatever we like. You know.
Yeah. I mean, if they had better infrastructure for what driving I do, electric actually would make more sense for me than gas. But the infrastructure is not there.
Well, yeah, it depends where you're at. All the other thing is too, with as the ranges get better. I don't even remember. It's been more than a year since I've had to charge my car away from home. I can drive all week on a charge. It's actually here in Indiana. It's not bad. They just put 12 chargers in like 2 miles down the road from where I work at the airport. That's more, for people that don't, if you don't have a home charger. If you have a home charger, you're good.
The only thing I wish about my truck, it had a bigger motor and a better sounding exhaust. My boss always said she can tell she can hear me when I leave because my freaking stereo in that truck is built.
That's what people ask me. People like, don't you miss the sound of the engine? I'm like, yeah, but I just turn the stereo up louder.
Yeah, I got JBL Concert Series speaker, the sub box. What size subs? I got big ass subs. My buddy gifted them to me. I don't remember what size subs.
When I bought my first Tesla, it had a premium sound system, but my wife's car didn't. And I put a subwoofer kit in it, specifically made for that car. And it was only an 8, maybe a 10-inch. I mean, it was just loud, and we just traded her car in for a newer model, and she's like, I miss my sub. I'm like, really? Every time you come down the street, I can hear that thing.
I think it's 12-inch subs is what I have behind my seat. I got single cab, so I got them fuckers behind my seat.
Hers had the molded kit that fit in like the cubby on the left side of the trunk, so that thing just pushed right into the whole trunk.
Water dog. Bam. Big Ben.
Yeah, I got the stereo built in that little sucker.
Did you get hurt?
Dad always make fucks with me. He'll hear me. He'll know when I'm on my way home because I'll come. He'll hear me from all the way down our road. My freaking stereo.
Well, I'm getting down.
Always playing the same shit. Fucking either Metallica or Offspring.
I'm getting down to the. This is the part where I start to drag ass. I got one window left to put in, a couple of metal decals, and the 2 grills on the front, and it's done. And I'm dreading these grills. And they're already painted in shape, but I always seem to have a disaster trying to get them stick in place. But it's almost done.
Cool.
It's the first time I tried using Tamiya Craft Bond PVA glue to glue the window in it. Looks like it worked pretty well. Once I take this outer plastic cover off, I'll clean up any edges there. But I love the way they molded the defroster into the rear window. I've never seen that before. I've seen them molded. I haven't seen them colored like that.
Which one did I did? I had screen printed on it. I think it was that Camaro.
I've had a couple of Tamiya kits. I think the Porsche I'm doing and the Fairlady Z had the little lines molded in, which is pretty cool.
I think the Camaro had them screen printed on that glass. I'll remember right. I don't remember. Something I did had them screen printed.
I gotta get a light on this thing. The interior turned out really nice. I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh, you motherfucker! Oh, I dropped the steering wheel. Where'd it go?
Jesus.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Get flashlight.
That's gone forever. I think it fell down in Mom's old 3rd row seat that's down here. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh. What did I just step on? Hopefully
Well, we'll see you all a little bit later. We're
Yep.
gonna shut it down.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Grab us a quick bite and off to bed.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah, Kevin, I just saw your message. She has a Model S long range, which is 670 horsepower. My Model X Plaid, though, is actually the Model S is like 2.20 to 60. Mine's like 2.30 to 60.
Oh, I see it there.
It's no joke, man. It's like being launched out of a rocket.
Yeah, Gary, you should put your builds up on the channels. We love eye candy.
Yeah. Even if you do just a little slideshows, like with photos.
Gary should just get on the live stream and stop being a chicken shit. We're not going to make fun of your accent.
I think Gary's just so horribly mangled from the motorcycle. You know,
I don't know. From all the
Show us.
foot stuff, you'd think he sounded like a degenerate. He actually sounds like a proper educated Englishman.
Gary educated? I don't believe that.
I said he sounds like it. I didn't say he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Kevin mentioned the Hemis. When I was in California, you'd see like a Hellcat or something just tearing around the freeway and kind of revving and driving fast, be loud. And I'd pull up next to it, and they were like immediately would just slow down and back off because they've been smoked before. You know, like I said, around Indianapolis, no, everybody wants to drive. I had a guy in a Roush F-150, and to be fair, man, that thing sounded incredible. He pulled up next to me at a light. And he goes, that thing really got 1,000 horsepower? I'm like, yeah, 1,020. He goes, oh, that makes my 650 looks. I don't think he believed me because when the light turned green, he stomped on it. And my first thought was, man, that thing sounds good. And then by the time he crossed the intersection, I had smoked him. I can't complain about. I ran a 9.6 at the drag track, 9.68 or something with that thing, with a fully stock 6-passenger SUV. I can't complain. We are looking though. I'm looking for. My first choice is a mid-90s air-cooled Porsche. I really like to get one, but they're so ridiculously expensive right now. But if I find myself a nice piece of old American iron, I'm probably going to pick something up. I just don't know what yet. I got a neighbor that has a 61, is it a Buick? I'd never seen one before. The thing is absolutely gorgeous. And I got another neighbor that's got a Factory 5 427 Cobra kit that is just to die for. But, in the Midwest, Jimmy probably sees this too. Weather warms up, people start taking their hot rods out. There's some really nice classics around, man.
Yeah, our first local car club cruise night is Friday night.
Yeah, they should be starting up here pretty soon. I had a guy in a 57 Ford pass me the other day. I was going home. Or 57 Ford, 57 Chevy. Oh, my God. Candy apple red. It was just, oh, my God. I would kill to have something like that.
Yeah, I'm starting to see him around here.
Love to get
My buddy pulled his Camaro. My buddy pulled his Camaro out of storage. It's a 01 LS1 Camaro. We did a bunch of motor work too, and
I'd love to get.
That's the car we got kicked off the track with it because anything faster than 10 seconds, you have to have the roll cage and the proper stuff.
I really,
he did one pass.
I really want to get my hands on a.
He did one pass, ran 10 seconds, and I threw it out of there.
They weren't cracking down on that when I was out in California because a lot of the Teslas, those supposed Plaids were running under 10, and they weren't requiring any of that. They were pretty lax about helmets.
Oh, right out here, yeah.
Yeah, my attorney.
It was mostly like if it's faster, you need a cage and just proper safety, and we had none of that.
My attorney, who's the guy I went to school with, just showed me pictures today that he found his dad's old 55 Fury, and he found it and bought it, and he just had it getting it restored. That is a monster car. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I haven't decided. I got a bunch of stuff sitting here I should start, but I don't know what I want to start next.
I got a couple of these Alphas. I got to finish this. I got to finish my son's Mercedes, and I got that Ferrari in there. It's almost done. And then I guess we'll knock out the Mobius, and then I don't know what I'm doing next. I might do this Jimmy Flintstone Roadster that I picked up. Looks pretty basic. It's just going to need a lot of prep work.
I'll probably start the GTO, I guess, because I'm waiting on parts, decals for the Camaro. So I can't do that yet.
I do need to finish up a couple of contest seasons coming up around here.
Yeah, there's a show in 2 weeks, not too far from us, but right now I can't leave the house that long.
What show is
down
it?
in Springfield, Missouri. Be about 6 hours drive for you. A little much. It's about 4 for me. That's doable, but if I can't, I could go up and get one of my brothers or sisters to take my mom for the day. But
it's too far for me.
Yeah, for one day, yeah, that's kind of outside the range. The other than Acme, as far as I go for a one-day show, is about 4 or 5 hours. I will do I used to make an exception and go to Chicago, which was 6 hours, but that was a big show. But now it's the same weekend or the weekend after Acme, so I don't go no more. There's one out.
Yeah, I know that show that Sunday. I'm definitely going to.
You got the one in September in St. Louis, and we got the one. Well, if you don't go to Acme, yeah, the one that at Kirkwood is the day after Acme, and then like the next weekend is the one in Columbia, Missouri, which would be about another 100 miles from where you're at.
Yeah, it's too far. Dad drives there every day, though. That's on his route in the semi. Or not every day. Every Wednesday he's in Columbia.
But that one's not a real big show. That would not be one I would drive that far for. For me, it's only a little over an hour to get there, so it's not bad. But it's a little far for you. For what it is, it's not a very big show. It's even an IPMS show.
Dan, did you ever figure out how you're going to fit that 7.3 in that Ford?
Yeah, I'm not. It's just, there's no realistic way to do it. It's just physically too big. I am half tempted to ask him to scale it down and print me a smaller one. Because it's a really nice engine. It's way too effing big. I'd have to cut out half the firewall. The problem is the engine compartment's too short. It's wide enough, it's too short. Especially when you do all the ducting for the turbo and stuff, there's no place for it to go. I don't know where the hell you'd have put that. Well, I mean, I suppose in a more modern model, there's a lot more room, but
Well, I got that 7.3 to fit in that Monogram F350 kit.
The back on this kit, the back of the engine is already into the firewall, and the accessory belts are into the grill support, so there's no place to put the radiator. And then the exhaust comes out the back, and you got all the piping behind it, and there's no place for that to go. Literally, the turbo piping would be under the dash. It's way too big. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to fit in.
I'm pretty sure. Well, that truck is the F250. That's a 25th, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
right?
that's the other problem too.
I think that motor's a 24th because that brick nose I put it in is a 24th, and it fit in that truck.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him to see. I'm going to give him the dimensions of the stock one, see. But yeah, it's not a deal breaker. I'll use it in something.
If not, I know that'll. What kit was I trying to put it in there? It actually fit. Where's that truck at? There it is. If not, I know that motor fits perfect in this kit.
Really? Huh.
Well, it has the stuff for the radiator molded into it, so you just got to cut that out. And
the problem if I cut the radiator support mount here, I mean, literally, it would be up in the grill. It's just too big. For as big as this truck is, it's got a very short engine bay.
Yeah, you just cut that radiator out, and it'll fit good in there. And then the grill, I'm gonna shave the back of the grill down and open up the grill. So
the way they molded this one,
that gives me a lot more room.
The way they molded this one, where you hook the radiator up, that literally it's molded all the way across. It holds the front of the body together.
So when I put the V10 in that Dart, I had to move the radiator to the other side of the core support.
Well, I would have been okay with something like that, but then the accessories, the accessory belt on the front doesn't fit in there either. So the engine block was literally firewall to radiator support without having the belts on the front.
Yeah, so the belts are basically in the hole where the radiator used to go, and the radiator sits on the other side of the core support.
Well, yeah, I couldn't even do that on this. The freaking.
But yeah, it just
with the belts on, it pushes the back of the engine into the cab, and then you still have all the freaking piping that has to go on for the turbo. Because on this one, the exhausts go out the back. Then there's a pipe that joins them to go to the turbo, and then it all wraps back around through the intercooler. It's I don't know what the hell it was designed for at the size it's molded in.
Let me Let me flip this camera around. How do I flip this camera around on the shit? Oh, here it is. Video.
It may very well just be a scaling issue, but that's 7.3. Yeah.
That's the 20. That's the 24 valve and square body, and you can see where I had to cut that. But I just took it because again the radiator was molded to support. I just cut that radiator out, and the grill fits in fine.
I still wouldn't have room. So what you're looking at right there, if my back of the engine is where you got it, the front of the engine is still touching where the freaking radiator is, and then there's no place.
Oh, mine's gonna.
There's no place for the exhaust to go out.
Yeah, I got to run the exhaust on this. I got to wait for the grill and the front bumper to get done stripping. I opened up the grill on that square body, and I'm gonna paint it black, so the whole truck's gonna be all blacked out.
The kit engine's nice looking. I'm gonna put I've got a aluminum air cleaner. I'm gonna put on it. It's a good looking engine.
Put your 5.0 Coyote in it.
Huh. God, do I have it? I don't have any new Fords.
I got one up here, and then from Lewis, I got the what's the kit that goes on top of the 5.0? The Shelby kit or whatever it is. Basically,
the Whipple Charger.
I think. Yep, the Whipple that goes on top of it. That Coyote, I think I ended up getting it to go in this, and I just have yet to build it.
You know, oh God. I got to check. I have a 40 Ford and a Aero sedan. I wonder if those are big enough for that thing to fit. 40 Ford probably not.
Well, that's what.
That'd be big.
That's what that Coyote's going in.
Oh, by the way, guys,
Which this is going to get built. This is getting built for Mom. The first car Mom ever bought, brand new right off the lot, was the 90s Cougar Anniversary Edition with all the gold trim and everything. Build that for her, and she's going to put it on the desk at work. I'm still going to put my touch on it, so it's going to have some custom wheels and a big Whipple supercharged Coyote.
Hey, just a sneak peek, guys. We're not going to do an official announcement for probably another week or two. But starting on Memorial Day and running for a year, we're going to do a Dazed and Confused build. You can do any car that was in the Dazed and Confused.
On the movie?
Yes, any car in the movie you can do.
Hey, Jimmy, Gary asked me to show you this.
We're doing that. I need a 73 El Camino, and I need some Buddha statues painted up like the Kiss guys.
Here you go, Jimmy. That's nice.
Ooh.
I'm clear.
Oh, that's bad.
I like this bit here too. Pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
That looks like the
damn, that truck looks good.
F-150.
I think that's what that is. That truck looks good.
Yeah, Gary does some nice stuff.
Those are the wheels from that
out of the 62 Impala, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or those are the
I got the same set behind me.
Those are the Del Rey. I can't remember. They're both pretty close.
Same wheels. I got a set behind me. I got them at a combo deal dude did at one of the shows on a bunch of wheels, and I found out one of the two of the wheels have the wrong tire on them, and they're not wide enough, and they're too tall. So I'm gonna measure them up, and then just see what size tire I need, and I'll order it from Texas 3D.
I don't know if anybody's left when we were talking about tires earlier, but this is the bottom tire is the one I just painted tonight. That's the Pro Scale Rubber Black, and then the top one is what it looks like after you flat coat it.
Ooh.
It does make quite. I mean, this looks good if you had armor-alled it, but the flat coat really makes it stand out.
I like that.
So and any black will work. This rubber black has browns and reds in it, which, like I said, after you flat coat it, you get a pretty. The camera doesn't do it justice. It doesn't look like a flat black. It does look like a rubber tire. But this, if you wanted the shiny tire, would be perfectly fine.
Doing like a show car.
Yeah, it's a little too shiny for a truck. But somebody had mentioned earlier, they said they preferred the plastic resin wheels over rubber, and that's kind of how I'm starting to get too. Rubber tires are okay, but you can really do what you want. The only thing I don't like about resin tires is there's no traction when you put them on a display case.
Yep, that's what I like about Texas 3D. All of his tires are they're printed with that
that rubbery flexible stuff. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, throw me up, Bob.
Well, then you could always drill a small hole in the bottom of them and put magnets in it and then use up metal.
I actually did that to that 62 Impala and worked good, but they were rubber tires. That was a bit of a nightmare.
These are them boggers, and they're
the biggest problem I had was getting the magnets in the tires to line up with the magnets on my display base.
I mean, they almost look like a real tire. I mean, they're pretty detailed boggers. No,
that's pretty neat. Do they have some grip to them?
Yeah.
I actually, Bob,
they're not going to like
turn me on to this, but it's not as convenient as a. It's not as convenient as a magnet, but definitely easier to apply as a museum gel. You ever seen that stuff?
Yeah.
I got where the hell is it? I got these off of Amazon. They're just double-sided, but the museum gel doesn't really stick. You can peel them apart if you want, but they're sticky enough that it'll hold the damn model. But, man, I got a freaking ton of these for nothing. 500 of them looks like. So I generally use these on my resin ones when I put them in the case so they don't get away from me.
I'll show it to him in red in a second. I'm waiting for my YouTube chat to catch up so I can click on orange.
When I usually like them cases from Hobby Lobby is what I use. They come with 2 little rubber orbs or whatever if you stand it straight up with something.
Oh yeah, for the dial if you want to put dials in it.
I bought a roll.
Yeah,
I bought a roll of this stuff too for trying out those. I haven't tried it yet on those acetate windows. This is 1 millimeter double-sided tape. Yeah, something that is. And this is 150 feet worth. I haven't tried it yet, but one of these days I'll actually get out and try it. It supposedly works pretty good on things like those windows and whatnot.
This way. Let me refresh it because it's still on my YouTube side. My chat is still back when we were talking about electric cars.
I think that's who I'm starting getting my wheels from now on. Is Texas 3D. I just like how he sells his wheels in sets of 2. So if you want to do some bigger size on the back than on the front, you have that adjustability.
This I'm paying for a guy. He's already got it rigged up for a slot car body for drag racing at the local slot drag track.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta finish this. I just talked to him yesterday. I gotta paint. He wants to trim paint it in black, so I gotta finish this up, clear coat it, and get it to him. It's probably the last one I do on commission. I hate doing work for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like having owe somebody something, even if, especially if they're paying for it,
Yeah.
They kiss.
Yeah, we're doing that. I'm gonna do what's his name's El Camino with the Buddha statues in the bed.
What is this? Are these 3D printed Kiss figures?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Man, you know who needs a couple of them is Taylor with that Kiss van he just did. He just did that Kiss plumber van.
Am I the only one that's still absolutely amazed? I mean, to me, this is as revolutionary as desktop publishing was, or printers back in the day. You can just fucking get on your computer and create something out of thin air. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we sat here a few lives and watched Miguel do it. It hurt my brain watching him.
Yeah, one of the guys from England, he generally only prints and paints what he builds. And you know, the Saturn IV has got a built-in webcam, so he'll have that up like we're in a hangout. He'll just have his camera on his printer. You know, you watching his printer do its thing. It's so awesome.
I want to. I just don't have time for another hobby right now.
I know, that's where I'm at. That's why I haven't bought one. It's like I know I'm going to go down that rabbit hole, and then I won't be building anything. I'll just be 3D printing crap.
And I kind of know enough people that do it. If I need something, I can get it. Buy them a bottle of resin and they'll do it.
I'm just very, very shitty at technology. Like I barely know how to use this fucking phone. I know how to call, text, and
I need to talk to Fred, that guy. He's got making him those giant scale Camaro stuff. I really want.
That's
Matthew?
Yeah. I really want. I'll see if somebody can make me the RS. The
Iceman.
RS grill. No, I've talked to Iceman. The only problem with him and the other guys is like, yeah, they don't do one off. It's not worth their time. I've asked them before.
Nope. Iceman has an RS grill for that 12 scale. He has the regular grill, a Z28 grill, an SS grill, and an RS grill. Yep.
Oh, I got it.
Hang on, give me like 2 seconds.
I'm going right now.
Hang on.
Me too. Where is the search?
I remember I just seen it because I was like, damn, who was looking for that? I couldn't remember.
I asked them to make me something, and I'm the kind of person, like, if you can make me one off, I will well compensate you for it. And he's like, nah, I can't sell it. Not worth my time. I'm like, what a dick.
Customizing parts he has it under.
Okay.
I'm on it right now. I'm about to link it to you.
I'm on the page right now. You know what?
He's got a no badge, G28 badge, an SS badge, and an RS badge.
Let me get to it here. I have his Mustang wide body kit. I haven't put that here.
Here it is, 69 Camaro 12 scale grills. It's molded open too. RS, SS, and Z28.
What page is that on?
I'm linking it right now, buddy.
Oh, I guess only $5? Holy shit, that's exactly what I need. Ha!
I seen this the other day, and I'm like, man, who the hell was just asking about this?
What I need.
That means he had enough people ask him.
Well, you know what I think it was when Revell reissued that 112th, everybody got interested. Because you know what I want to do, right? I found a guy on eBay that sells the 112th BBS gold wheels. That big red, you know the big red Camaro. You guys remember that?
The RS grill is $23, but it comes with the correct RS tail lights and backup lights for that kit because the tail lights were different.
That. So I'm probably going to go the badgeless. So are you familiar with Big Red? Any of you guys familiar with Big Red? So this guy, they did it. If you got Netflix, they did a series on these. Here, let me. Whenever you're done, Bob, I'll show you. Anyway, I noticed that kit is ripe for what I want to do with the big red, and I found the wheels here. Let me show you. I found the wheels on eBay the other day. So there's. All right, why is that blacked out? There's Big Red right there.
That's a Z28.
This guy, all right, well, I'll get the Z28 one then. Anyway, this guy has had this car. It's been in his family since he was like 15 or something. All he does is speed challenges. He does these open road races. One of the episodes they wanted to go over 200 with this thing. He does all kinds of different races. So he's got like 4 or 5 different engines that go in this thing, depending on what they're doing. And I mean, they're basically all that's left of the 69 is the body. It's pretty much all a racing chassis now. Anyway. Somebody sells these 1/12 wheels, and all I needed was the grill because it already has this on it, and I want to do a big red. And in fact, if you look at the new Revell kit, it even has these decals, these stripes. It's just perfect. But the stuff they've done with this thing, oh my god! Anyway, if you have Netflix. They've got a series on Netflix. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but it's an unbelievable. The series is incredible. So they kind of follow the history of the car, and then depending on what engine they got on it, they've got different hoods for it, and it's just kind of evolved over the years. But the guy's been racing this thing for like 30 years. The cars. They did Pikes Peaks with it, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm probably going to do one of the older versions of this car that is more like the Revell kit. It had the Z28 hood, and before they got really nuts with it. And so that is good to know that he has that grill because I'm going to order that sucker.
I seen that the other day, and I was
I think it was the just talking about the other thing that wasn't accurate. So that is freaking awesome. They must have scanned that off of the 125th car or something.
Yeah, I think it's a black box. They just upscaled it.
But man, that is freaking awesome because I was like, that front end that's on there is like the Yanko grill. I totally love that grill, but I want to do Big Red and that doesn't work. Oh man, that is sweet. That might move that car up in my queue.
Yeah, Matthew at MCB has the back half if you want the 4-link back half.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. And you know what I'm thinking, but I could probably do one of the 125ths like that too. But when I saw those gold BBSs on eBay in that scale, I was like, oh, big red.
Mm-hmm.
I got to measure. I don't know if that body will fit in my spray booth or not.
I take that sucker outside.
My spray booth is like, I think 24 inches across. It might fit. See, with an airbrush, Jimmy, you could paint that 1/12 scale body with like about 2 ounces of paint. Huh. Well, that's cool. I'm going to have to order up some parts. Again, amazing time to be in the hobby, man. This stuff would have been unthinkable 20 years ago.
I'm glad you said something about that because I could not remember for the life of me.
I would have never checked because, like I said, last year I asked him to do a custom set of wheels for me, and he said that if I can't sell them, it's not worth doing. And I was like,
I tried to get him to do Eleanor wheels for that 64.
I think that's what it was. And now I see he's
Or
putting together
Mustang.
one of them. I don't remember which guy it was, but I got a friend over in England that'll do anything one-off, but with shipping and everything else, it gets to be cost prohibitive.
That's something else cool about Matthew. As long as he can find a file, he can upsize it.
Well, this guy I know in England, he scratch builds. He'll make them from scratch, which is incredible. I sent him some pictures of some Porsche wheels, and he made me a set of 132nd custom wheels. I don't know if I showed these to you.
I need some 20th scale stuff. I want to do that. Sonoma 20th scale.
Oh, nice.
That's Matthew's back half there.
And I want to do an LS in it with a giant set of boggers.
Made it to fit in the Camaro body.
So what's the name of his company? Scaling Details. He did this for me. I have this Camaro this Porsche is a 1/32 scale. See if I can get it in here. This is a 1/32 scale. This is a $11 model kit, which is pretty cool. But it came with, these are supposed to be turbo wheels that are staggered, big and little. And what it came with was bicycle wheels. I mean, they literally looked like bicycle wheels and tires, and they were terrible. So I put the kit away, and I met this guy, and I'm like, hey, can you design me a set of Fuchs wheels? And not only did he design them, he did them in a 3-piece, like the Singer Porsches. And this is what he built me. Oh, shit.
Don't drop it.
So I don't know what the hell I just did there. That didn't sound good. Anyway, these are Singer Porsche style Fuchs wheels, 3-piece. And this is a 1/32 scale car. Oh, it's unbelievable. If you just saw the factory, and he made these from scratch. I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this thing. It's almost done. But anyway, to that level of talent, and then he was nice enough to do them in a 3-piece so I could paint them different colors. So I did the barrel and the insert gold, and then the rest of the wheel inside the center piece is actually black in there. He actually gave me a set of disc brakes, but you can't see them anyway, so I left them out. And so the wheels and tires are custom designed by him. I was like, dude, I know this kit probably doesn't sell out worldwide, but you got the file made, man. You should sell it.
For an $11 kit, I don't see why not. It's just something
and it's
fun
not
for
a
it.
bad kit. I mean, it's not super detailed. It didn't even come with decals. But at
No,
1/32, how much detail do you need?
A
Yeah.
lot of those get turned into slot cars anyway. That's
a good point. It kind of is like a slot car.
yeah. So
But,
1/32 scale is real popular for slot cars.
Man, I just thought it was cool for $11, and then I got it home and I started putting together. I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. And then I got to the wheels and went, oh, that just ruined the whole car. I mean, they were the same size, so the rear ones were all tucked in here, so you had this huge fender gap. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So knowing somebody that can scratch build is very nice perk to have. But anyway, yeah, they still sell these. These guys make like 50 or there's a whole list of them, different cars they make. But yeah, $10.99. That's what they go for. I don't know.
Not bad.
And that was a California price. I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
What year California
I
price?
just bought that last spring before I moved.
Ah,
The name of the company is Arai or Ari. It's ARWI or ARII. And Plaza Japan had a lot of people have them. I guess they make airplanes too, but 1/32 is their deal for some reason.
I
I'm
got
a
stay
big
off
Porsche
Plaza.
nut, so I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, I got to add that to the collection.
I gotta stay off Plaza. I'll order
Awesome, bud. Yeah.
a ton of Skylines and Supras.
Let me find a picture of those wheels on a completed car. You'll not believe how shitty they are.
Kind of sound like the ones they put on the Mach 5 kit. They're super, super narrow.
See if I can find it. Somebody posted a picture of them. They're like, really? Here it is. Oh my God. Hold on. People put it up and they're like, what the hell happened? Look at this. Those are the wheels it comes with.
What the hell?
That's what's in the box. That doesn't look anything like the box art. See, there's another angle here. Here you go, to show you how bad the wheel gap is.
It looks like it's got them spare tire, like them
That's
little
what
donut wheels
Boston
and
Bud
tire.
said. He said you got four donut spares. Look at that.
Like they both sit too far forward
I
in
got
the
that
wheel
and I
wells
went,
too.
oh my God, I'm not finishing this kit. So you compare that to what that guy built for me, it was pretty damn impressive.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I was like, why? You put this awesome kit together for $11 and then you blew it on the wheels? All right, Janice, that's about it for me. I got work tomorrow.
Yep, it is almost 9:30, so it's probably a good stopping point.
Appreciate it, Bob.
Yep. We'll try to be around on Friday if nothing's going on, but I'm never know right now.
Yeah, and I'm burning my last week of vacation next week, so I should be on the bench a bunch. I need to get my own thing set up to stream when nobody else is. I think I want to get that Zoom off-air hangout set up for anybody that wants to. It'll be a persistent link.
Uh-huh.
Anybody wants to join off-air anytime can hang out like this, but it's not streaming. I find some nights, like when Brian shut it down Saturday, I was like, man, I'm not done for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. That's when I just throw.
Well, that's would be a perfect opportunity if anybody still wants to hang out. We just switch to the off-air, you know.
Yeah, I used to do late nights on there. A lot of other people shows that would go on after they finished and wouldn't be on for another 2 or 4 hours after they cut down.
That's how I met Gary, Ride the Wind, and GB Model. And some of those guys, we were, off-air hangout in another group. Anybody they didn't know to let on the live, as soon as their live was over, like, there's a link, just pop in, you know. But it's open 24/7, so anybody can jump in anytime and hang out and BS. Because I know some of us can work odd hours and be in here on odd hours too.
If I take this new job at the boot company, I won't be going as late as nights as I
wasn't
usually
even
do.
going to jump on tonight until I saw Bob. I mean, to me, sitting down here by myself can get real boring, especially on a work day.
That's why I throw a movie on. I'll throw a movie on my phone.
Yeah, if I'm not on the stream, I don't build, so I end up. Otherwise, I just sit there watching TV.
That's kind of how I've been. It's not necessarily a stream. You guys all do stream, but it used to be if I was building, I was on that off-air hangout.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do Discord all the time.
The only problem is most of those guys are from the other side, so they're not. After about 3 p.m., there's nobody in there.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about these lives is they're actually in a time that's compatible with me. Unfortunately, just the opposite for Ride the Wind. He's 5 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, I used to work night shift, so I used to hang out with the guys, UK and European guys all the time.
Yeah,
I was getting home from work at the same time they were getting up and rolling through the day.
Yeah, the guys in Australia, like GB Models and stuff, they're like 14 hours ahead. So
yeah.
When they're getting on a Saturday night stream, it's Sunday morning for them. They're just getting up and starting the day.
Yeah.
But that seems to work a little better. England's 5 hours. It's not bad if you can get on. The problem is during the week, the best times are right in the middle when we're working. So I like these evening hangouts. 6 or 7 is perfect time for me.
Yeah. I used to start earlier, but you didn't get anybody on for the first 2 hours. So.
Yeah, you gotta wait. I start work pretty early in the morning. I usually start about 6 a.m. So I'm usually home pretty early. Of course, today I didn't get home till 5. So I couldn't remember if anybody was streaming. I was eating dinner with my wife, and your thing popped up. I went, "Oh, somebody's on."
Yeah, I'm usually on at 7:00 Eastern every Tuesday, unless something comes up.
Yeah, that worked good. Like I wasn't going to come down. I'm like, yeah, I'll come down, hang out, and do a little painting.
Except for next Tuesday with it, because that's my club meeting night, so I won't be on.
Okay.
Then I usually try and pick up a different night during the week when nothing else is going on. Do a post AMC show or Friday nights if nobody's got one going. I usually pop one in somewhere around there.
I got my YouTube channel set up to stream. I need to just when I get this hangout set up, I'll also have the streaming capability too for multi people. Because I guess just the YouTube itself is only one person can stream.
It depends. Yeah, on whatever streaming service you use.
Yeah, if you use YouTube itself.
So I think I'm gonna set up this Zoom account. It's not terribly expensive, so I find too many times after everybody gets off, I know there's some of us that still want to build, so I think it'd be a perfect time to have that.
Let me turn the volume up again. Before we jump, I got the donk painted.
Okay, let me get you loaded up.
What happened?
Nothing.
It's not bad, not bad. Those flakes are a little big, but that looks good.
I
What is
wanted that. I
Is
wanted
that
a big
what
flake.
is that? An Oldsmobile Buick? What is it?
That's the 76 Caprice. It's going to be a donk. Big 26s.
Who makes that kit?
It's AMT.
That's the one that comes with the trailer, isn't it?
I can't believe
Yep.
that they made a kit of that when you consider some of the cars out there that are not made into models.
This was an old kit they repopped. Where's the hood?
Like, who looked at that and said, yeah, people will buy that?
I got one run spot on the driver door where my base coat was a little thick, but I've got so many layers of metal flake and then clear on it. I'm not stripping it. I'll just deal with it. That looks really good. It's almost a black. Then when it hits the light, it goes to
What do you use
blue,
for a base
purple,
coat?
and gloss
Okay.
black. I think when you use gloss on it, it turns out I like the way it looks a little better than when you use flat, like it's like you're supposed to. I like the way it looks a little better.
Yeah, you get the biggest effect when it goes over gloss black, but you can try it over other colors too, and you still get cool effects. Just a little more subdued.
Like I was gonna put it over navy blue, and over navy blue, that's the effect. It popped that purple out in
Yes.
a little more, and you can still see that dark blue. But the wheels, the ring is a separate piece. So I'm gonna paint that chrome, and the centers I color matched this flake, and then I just painted the interior white. Yeah. Still trying to figure out what motor. I might put a twin turbo 572 in it. Or a LS. I don't
All
know.
right, gents.
I'm
You
debating
guys
on
have a good night. Try to
Yep.
pop on Ted's tomorrow if I don't have anything going on.
Yeah, boys and girls, thank everybody for coming tonight, and we'll be around later this week, hopefully.
Have a good night, everybody.
Catch you guys
Bye,
later.
everybody.